3, 2, 1, let's go. Welcome to episode 60 of the Power Pod with your boys, Marco and Big Topper. Topper.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Episode 60. Wow. Unbelievable. You always love a round number. There's something satisfying about a round number.
Those 10 episodes, like 50s, 40s, 30s. Ooh.
They're always iconic.
Yeah.
If you go back and listen to our 10th or 20th or 30th or 40th or 50th, they're always very, very memorable. You know?
Something happened.
Something happened at each one of them, you know? I can't remember any of them, though. Except for the 20th one where we had coronavirus. That was it.
Is that it?
I think it was.
Yes.
Hold on.
Jeez, that was like 30 weeks ago.
That was a long time ago.
That is ages ago. Fucking hell. Well, I guess we are in October.
Yeah, many moons ago now. But yeah, October. Oh, Jesus. Flying in.
Pain in the hole, though. It's not cold. It was cold for a bit.
It was freezing for about 3 days, and then it just stopped, and it got really warm again. I went out. I think it was last week. I can't remember what day exactly, but I went out. I know before I went out, I put on 4 layers of clothes. I got my winter jacket out, and I walked outside, and it was like a summer day. It was like a July day. I was like, "What is this bullshit?"
Yeah,
I couldn't even go back and change because I had to get the bus. It was stupid.
Man, I went out on Friday, right? Got onto the bus after fucking sweating balls after I got out of the shower. Put on a jacket, put on a t-shirt, rocked out, got onto the bus. Literally, like, the bus was fucking packed, and I was standing, and I was literally dripping sweat, and I got off 2 stops.
Why?
I got off 2 stops. I was like, I can't do this. So I got off, and then I waited for the next 16, and then I got onto that one.
Was that empty?
Completely empty.
That's the thing. It's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Yeah, I got the Lewis back today at like 3:30. So like all the kids are getting out of school. But like they kind of drop off because they all get up because the school is like right at the end of the line, and they all get off like within 3 or 4 stops.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the thing was packed all the way into town, all the way into O'Connell Street, and then I get off and I wait for the 123 back into Marino, and I look at the next Lewis, like literally 2 minutes behind, and it's like empty. It's like a ghost train, you know? What's that about? So poorly planned.
You're always better off if you see a bus that's like fucking 6 minutes and then there's one like 4 minutes in the same bus. You're always just better off waiting for the second one.
Yeah, but the thing is, the second one never shows up.
But like I also,
or it's like, we actually meant there was only one bus.
Yeah,
you know.
I also feel like you're always like a bit you're risking it when that happens as well, because like, what if the second bus isn't actually empty and it's full?
yeah. Either it's full or it's a ghost bus, and then you're stuck waiting half an hour.
Yeah,
it's just the conundrums of life. This is back
in Dublin.
Yeah, the monotony of day-to-day life. We're back at it. It's been a while. It's been 2 years, but here it is.
Here it is, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, I remember why I didn't like this in the first place.
Do you ever feel like slightly not nostalgic, but you're kind of like, God, I loved when I had nothing to fucking do?
What, in lockdown?
Like first lockdown.
I loved first lockdown.
Yeah.
I was in love with it. It was perfect. I've never been so hyped when we got 2 weeks off back in March. The first lockdown. It was like, this is fucking Christmas,
2 weeks off.
It's amazing.
You get to chill.
You got to chill,
Although there was also the impending doom feel of like, if I go outside I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like things were like, I think everyone was kind of sick of it, everyone needed a break.
Yeah, but
at the same time it is kind of bad that people died and stuff, or like that there was like a pandemic, obviously, but
we obviously got out of it light, but
oh yeah, exactly, yeah,
can't deny I did enjoy my time off.
Exactly. Yeah. But the thing is, what does that say about our society that people enjoyed? People were like, forget about it. It's only a deadly pandemic.
Yeah.
We got a few weeks off, or 18 months off, so.
No worries about it.
It's alright.
Don't stress.
The whole supply chain's collapsing. It's great to see. But no one really cares. That's the thing. No one actually cares.
No.
But it's collapsing. Yeah,
Britain's fucked, isn't it?
Yeah. All the parts. They don't have parts. I saw read some article about the way you have like, it's like, I think just in time production, the way you have these production loops where everything is like optimized to the like nth degree. Like you're reliant on like these like impossibly small margins to get things delivered and produced on time. And they have one of these loops which is broken right now, where they don't have parts for forklifts, but they can't get parts for forklifts, because to get the parts they need forklifts to take them off the shipping containers.
Oh,
so it's all
fucking God.
So it's down to, so they actually can't repair the forklifts because there aren't enough forklifts to get the parts to repair. It's like a loop which just they don't know how to fix it. But the obvious solution is just to get people to lift the parts off the containers, but they don't have like procedures for that, so they have to like reinvent how to do it.
They reinvent the wheel, basically.
Reinvent the wheel, even though it's like such a simple thing to do, but it's like clogged up the whole system, you know, the whole bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of those loops are there for like? I say that's the same with everything. Like there's like we need this, but if this fails, we won't have this to do that. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's like the semiconductor thing with the the way PS5s were like, or even like computer parts in general, like really I don't know, like scarce for the past few years. I think it's something to do with.
They've all skyrocketed in price.
Yeah. Something to do with the people that, or the countries and the places and the workers that like cultivate the raw materials for these things, like haven't been working, or they haven't been working to full capacity.
Yeah.
So that's like there's like some kind of domino effect where the margins of error get like progressively worse and worse, like exponentially worse with each step of the supply chain. So you have like it even has like, you know, the way China's going mad about Taiwan right now.
Yeah.
Because Taiwan is like the center, the global center for semiconductor production. So computers are all reliant on, partially anyway, on like Taiwan and places like that produce those like really small parts that everyone else needs.
Yeah.
But they only really need it right now because there's a shortage because of like these small mistakes, or like these small sort of stoppages that happened like years ago now. It's bizarre. That's how,
mad,
how easy it could all just fall apart. You know?
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like once that was the whole thing that I remember when the Suez Canal was blocked. I'm pretty sure Marx had actually wrote something about that. Like he wrote that if the Suez Canal was ever blocked, like global trade would cease to exist momentarily.
Yeah,
and he was right.
Yeah, momentarily. It's been months. They're still feeling the effects of that. And then you have I was reading some article about, I think it was in the New York Times, about this super tanker off the coast of Yemen. And obviously you have the Yemeni civil war going on at the moment.
Yeah.
And you have the Houthis versus the...
How long has that been going on for?
Like since 2017.
Yeah.
You have like the Houthis who are backed by Iran, and then you have the other guys who are backed by Saudi Arabia and like America and stuff like that. But the Houthis control most of the country, like especially the coastline, and they control like a part of the country along the Strait of Hormuz, I think it's called. Yeah. Between Yemen and or the Arabian Peninsula and like Iran. So Iran and these guys, these rebels, can basically control, which is it's like kind of like the Suez Canal. It's like huge amounts of oil. Pretty much all the world's oil supply goes through there at some point. But they control it, and they have this super tanker like parked off in the coast, but they don't know how to fix it or like how to maintain it, because they're just guys with like guns in the middle of the desert who like didn't plan being in government or like controlling any territory like a few years ago, and they can't get the parts in to repair it properly. They don't have the personnel or the expertise. So there's basically this massive bomb sitting off the coast of Yemen, which will explode or like collapse or like capsize into the sea at some point, and has like billions of barrels of oil like in the hulls or like in the stowage, and there's nothing you can do about it pretty much. Like you'd have to invade. Someone literally has to invade and take it off them or like help them out or something like that. Obviously the Americans and Saudis aren't going to help them, but something has to be done about that. But like that's another problem down the road. We'll probably solve everything and then that will blow up.
But that's just gonna fucking spill, and it's like, well,
whoops,
that sea's now fucked as well.
Yeah. Sure, look.
What can you do?
The shoe life. It shows us.
Tell you one thing you can do.
What can you do?
You can sit back and enjoy a 4-hour-long film. Woo! Which is what I did last night.
The Love Exposure.
Love Exposure.
Is that a euphemism?
No, it's just very kind of what the film's about. Well, yeah, kind of, yeah. This is by Sion Sono, probably butchering that name, but Sion Sono. He's the guy that directed that film Anti-Porno that I talked about when we had Isabel on the podcast. And he's directed a new film with Nicolas Cage, Ghosts of something. Can't remember what it's called, but
this next film.
That film's out now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It came out like last month before. Love Exposure is basically his magnum opus, his his 4-hour long epic that's like meant to be one of the best films of all time. And it is, in some regards. It is definitely.
In some regards it is.
There's some bits of it that you're like, oh, I don't know how to feel about this.
Well, as in
because-
like it's like, ugh, or is it like, it's boring?
No, this is like 4 hours that it like flies by. This film is the furthest thing from boring. I had an absolute fucking blast with this film. The first hour of this film is the quickest hour of a film I've ever sat through,
It's 4 hours long.
and it's which is merciful because then you're like, oh, and then I just got a 3 hour film to get through.
Yeah, it's merciful. That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh well, you gave me. It's just it has an extremely melodramatic tone throughout the entire film. It's so fucking weird. It is so weird. It's about this guy, who, oh geez, talking about the plot. There's a lot to do with the plot, but the basic plot is that you has a dad who's a priest, and basically he's like the priest. The dad is fucked up because his wife dies, and then he turns to God, and then he finds a woman that he falls in love with, and then she fucks him over, and then he's just like left with like no love in God and no love for like women or anything. And the whole film is about love, right? It's literally in the title, Love Exposure.
Uh-huh.
It is about the only thing that matters in life is love through anyone. Like that's the entire point of the film, right? So this guy is fucked up because he's no love in his life, and he basically like takes it out on his son, and he's like, here, you need to come to confession, and you've sinned obviously, so come to confession and admit your sins or whatever. So he shows up and he's like, I didn't really do anything today. He's like, well then you're lying, you're not seeing the sins that you're committing. And so you eventually takes this to start purposely committing sins. Like he starts getting into fights with people, starts just being a dickhead overall. And then one of his mates is just like, you know what priests hate? And he's like, what? And he's like, they hate perversion. That's the worst thing the priests say. So you should do that to really piss him off. And he's like, oh my God, yes. Then my dad will talk to me because like he'll be concerned about me, so I'll be a pervert. So then he starts taking photos of women's skirts, and that takes up quite a portion of the film.
Does it show it? Or it's just him going around with his phone, like.
Well, I mean, yeah, you do see a lot of shots of women's skirts, like quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it is like, it is weird.
That's it is.
And
yeah.
you feel like this is fucking gross, and it is gross. It is disgusting. But
no.
But I think that the film kind of not achieves something, but like the fact that you still like you by the end of this film is a real fucking marvel to the point of the film. I think is what I'm trying to say. Like, and it is like kind of funny, like the way that they do it. He's like a ninja doing it. He like does flips.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're pew pew, and he's like, the actor is he's not even pointing the camera in the right direction. They have like this bit where like he has like it on a yo-yo string basically, and he like launches it at people, and it goes pew, and whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? That's not the great part of the
very
film.
good.
That's the film's got a weird fucking tone to it, so it's meant to be comedic. That might not work for you, or it might not. For me, it was kind of in the middle because like this is fucking weird and gross. But it's also kind of funny with how melodramatic and over the top it is. Anyway, he eventually loses a bet with one of his mates, and his mate's just like, right, because you lost this bet, you have to dress up in my sister's clothes and go off and kiss a girl. The one thing as well is that he's not doing this. The film makes a very, very major point about this. He is not doing this because he finds any form of sexual arousal from this. He is purely doing this to sin. He does not find
He's not a pervert, he's just a weirdo.
He's just a weirdo that wants to commit sin because his dad fucking hates him. So eventually he's trying to find, the whole thing is that like as well is that he has this like kind of father figure in this like master pervert who's like teaching him how to take all these photos, who's just like, you will eventually find a woman to fall in love with if you keep doing this, basically.
What?
And he does. The film's fucking weird, right? And he stumbles upon this girl that's like about to fight like these 15 dudes, whatever. And then he comes in as well, dressed up as, in drag, basically, and fights off these people. And he falls in love with the girl that he saved. and then it's a love story from that point. That is the hour mark. Okay,
That's the hour.
That's what happens in the first hour of the film.
Wow.
There's all this stuff about religion. There's stuff about cults in the film. There's stuff about like Jesus, about fucking perverts. Basically, there's the main thing though is that the film is about love. And it just, I'm just blown away by the fact that it's a 4-hour long film, and it wasn't boring at any stage.
Yeah.
It's so perfectly paced. Like again, the first hour flies by. Then the second hour is like this. It's broken into chapters as well. That kind of helps. But the third chapter is literally 3 hours long, and then the last chapter is like 20 minutes. So you know, it's 4 chapters, but they're not broken up evenly. There's this whole stuff about cults in the film as well. That is like every character that we follow. Like we follow like 5 characters mainly. Each one of them is like lacking love in their life in some form, and they tried to fill that love with either religion, and then you know that doesn't really work. So what if you have a cult that like fills that in for you as well, and like looks into how cults can brainwash people, because you know that's what cults do. They look for people that are like sad and lonely, and like here's a family and here's a religion that you can believe in, and that will like fulfill your life, but ultimately that's not fulfilling. And this is whole stuff about trauma as well, because the girl in the film that we follow as well is Yuko, I think her name is Yuko, something like that. And she was abused by her dad as well. And she hates men. Like she's like, fuck every man except for Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain is cool. That's the only man that's cool.
It's always him.
Him and the big JC as well.
JC,
Jesus Christ.
The classic.
The classic. And so she completely hates all men. And there's a kind of bit in the film where I was a bit worried that it was going to be a little bit homophobic, because she falls in love with the guy, right?
But he's in drag.
When he's in drag. And she thinks that he's this woman called Miss Scorpion. And by the way, they kind of end up being stepbrother and stepsister at one stage.
What?
Because
that's just the Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah, because his dad, who the woman that broke his dad's heart, fucked off to be with Yoko's dad, and then when that woman left Yoko's dad, she brought Yoko with her because they were just mates, and she's like, yeah, come on. And then she marries into the family with Yu's dad, so like they're kind of stepbrother, stepsister, but they're not related. Like they're not related at all, and she's not even like her mom. Like that was her whole point is like, you're not my fucking mom. We're just mates.
Yeah.
But there's like a 20-year, 30-year age gap between us. But we're fucking mates. You're not my fucking mom. And she makes like she's like, I do not want a family at all. Like Yoko's like that. So she falls in love with Miss Scorpion, who's you in drag, and she's like, oh yeah, this makes sense because I hate men. Like I hate every single man. I'm obviously a lesbian. But then, you know, it's a love story. So obviously she then, you know, eventually realizes, oh no, I love you. And I was like, oh, is that homophobic? But I don't think it is, because it's not saying that she's not into women. It's just saying she's also into men.
Yeah.
Like she does like men.
Yeah.
And she's all fucked up because of trauma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, familial stuff.
Yeah. There's so many boners in this movie. Like
visual boners.
Like there's a bit where like it shows like Yoko with a boner. No, not Yoko. You with a boner.
So many levels.
So many levels. You has this massive boner, and that's how you find out that he falls in love with her, because he just gets a massive hard on.
That's the true sign of love.
That's the true sign of love.
That's
true
love right there.
But yeah, all the characters are so complex because you spend so much time with them. It's got this beautiful use of music as well. Like there's like great use of classical music in the film. Not like 2001, but like similar pieces that would have been in 2001.
Yeah, like really like gothic. Like, like really ostentatious.
And then it's just like shots of like, you know, people talking or whatever, and this is like swelling orchestra music that's playing in the background. And then it was just like hard cut into like this pop music, this J-pop music that's playing. It's great. It's great. Excuse me. And then obviously the main thing, if you're watching 4 hours, you want a good ending, and the film fucking lands. The film pays off tenfold, and at the end it's like I actually finished. The film ended and a big fucking smile on my face. It's like that was well fucking worth it.
That's good.
Which
that's what you want.
That's what you want. Like I think the closest, like the longest film I've seen before this was The Irishman, and this beats it out by 20 minutes. Like this is a longer film,
like properly 4 hours.
And like because like when I stuck it on, it was like 3 hours and 57 minutes. And I was like, well, there's probably like, 10, 15 minutes of credits. No, there's 3 minutes of credits. This is
it's full on.
This is 4 hours. Like, this is not fucking about.
Jeez.
So the closest thing I compare this to is The Irishman. I can't really remember how The Irishman ended.
I don't know.
He just has Alzheimer's at the end, doesn't he, or something?
I don't know. I never saw it.
I think he does. I think that's how the film just ends at the end of a life or whatever. Like. It's it's the entire life kind of thing. It's like, well, it takes 4 hours because we're going through this guy's entire life. Love Exposure is just it doesn't have to have that fucking bullshit of it's so long because we're going through a guy's life. No, it just is 4 hours long because that's the story that it's telling.
Yeah.
And in that way, it's not like, well, it's ending because the character's dead. No, it's just ended because it ended, and we can end on a very satisfying note.
Yeah, it's proper, act structure to it. Like proper story. Well, that's what you want, That's all you can ask for. After 4 hours, a good ending. Is it a happy ending? Very happy ending. Yeah. Does everyone fall in love? Yeah. Is it about love truly in the end?
Love is found.
Love conquers all.
There's this massive monologue as well by Yoko, and she's like talking about like what love is, because she's like, this is when she's all really fucked up at like the lowest stage. Well, her second lowest stage, because then she goes right down. But anyway, and she's like talking about like what love is and what it means and how love gives purpose to you. And like it doesn't matter. The film's message isn't like, all the couples are heterosexual in the film, but the basic message is that like gender or who someone is doesn't matter. All that matters is that you do find someone, and you will fall, and that you do fall in love with someone eventually, and you'll be, you'll live a satisfied life. And it's not something that religion or media or anything can fill up for you. Not even dirty pictures. Dirty pictures can't. Being a pervert doesn't help.
Not even obscure photos.
No, not even obscure photos.
Yeah, that's intense. That is intense. That's what you want, though.
That's what I wanted. I was left satisfied.
That is absolutely key. Yeah, 4 hours. That's I don't know if I could do that.
I did it.
I don't know.
I did it like 2 hours, and then I took a 20-minute break, and then I came back to it.
And you watched them in like the full 2 hour blocks? Yeah. Is that during the day or at night?
At night. I started the film at 7:30 and I finished at 12.
That's actually perfect. Yeah. That's an experience,
I planned it out.
yeah. You kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I was thinking about, because when I was in work, I saw there was this documentary about Malcolm X come up, but it's from like the perspective of the Muslims, and the way the biography, or was it
Spike Lee's one?
Yeah, the biopic. Spike Lee's biopic is on Netflix now, but it's 3.5 hours long. I really wanted to watch it after I watched that documentary. Yeah. But it was like 4 a.m. and I was falling asleep. Yeah. And it's 3.5 hours long, so how do you plan around that, I don't know. It's just it's like a mental block.
Yeah, because it is like I think that 4 hours long isn't really long enough to like do it episodically. Especially like Love Exposure, the way that it's like paced as well. There isn't really a place where you can be like, okay, I'm gonna cut here, because the third chapter is literally like 2/3 of the film.
Yeah.
And it just goes like there's like, unless you're gonna break it up that way, but you're gonna absolutely destroy the pacing of the film if you're to do that.
Yeah, I think that's what. I think the longest film I've ever seen is Godfather 2.
That's like 4 hours long as well.
3.5. I think it's 3.5, or like just under, like 3 hours 20 or something like that. But I remember the pacing. Pacing is a bit weak or something like that. It just felt very fractured because it switches back and forth between Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I remember I didn't vibe with it. there's something about it. It felt fractured in some way.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to do it in a. It sounds like Love Exposure does it, a bit more fluidly.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. And like, there are like switching perspectives. There's a bit in the film like when we eventually meet Yoko, we fly back to go through her story, but her story takes up like 20 minutes, and then we're in a 20. We take a 20-minute break from the hour of like blitzing of with you that we've had to go back 20 minutes with Yoko, because her story maybe gets shafted a little bit that way, but the original cut of this film was 6 hours long, and they asked them to cut it down. So
of course they did. Yeah, 6 hours.
Yeah.
No one can watch that. Like,
so so he did. I assume that he did flesh out Yoko more, but they're like, here, man, we don't want this, but we care. We do like the underskirt shot stuff. Leave that in.
Yeah, we need more of this, actually. Forget about all this plot. Yeah. Well, that's pretty key, yeah. I don't know.
See, the thing is as well, like, I think if you're going to watch a film that's, like, over 3 hours long, and your criticism, like, your general criticism is, this film is too long, you're a bit of a cock.
Yeah, look at the runtime.
Like, you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah, oh, this is overly long. Yeah, of course it is.
It's like, yeah, that's kind of the point. That's why it's 4 hours long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different when it's like, it's something that could be. Do you think this needed to be told in 4 hour, or is it part of the form? Is that part of the text that it has to be 4 hours?
It really is, because so much happens, and the film gives everything time to breathe as well, and not even like nothing stays too long.
Yeah,
which is the main thing. Like, there's no scene that I feel drags on too long. There's never a point in the film where it's like, okay, can we move on from this? Like, the film keeps you invested in everything that it does. And, like, it's, again, like, the pacing is perfect. Like, it just keeps you chipping away. And all of a sudden, you're just like, geez, I have 2 hours left in this film. That's just, like, the regular length of a film.
Yeah, that's just one film, yeah. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Where'd you see this?
I have it on Blu-ray.
Oh, Blu-ray.
Because I was like, I am not going to stream this. Because what if I do want to take a break and I don't have to pull up some dodgy site, because this isn't even on anything as well.
Yeah, true.
You don't want to be pulling up a dodgy site to return to something like.
Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah. I don't know. Where'd you hear about it? Because you watched.
Because I watched Anti-Porno. And Robin told me about this film. She's like, oh, I love exposure to this film that I really want to watch, but it's like 4 hours long. But she's saying that everyone that she knows on Letterboxd had it like 5 stars, and it's rated on I think it's rated 93 on the Letterboxd, like 250 films.
Oh, really?
Letterboxd, like, I think in the top 5 in like Letterboxd, there's this thing called, I don't know if it's a TV show or if it's a film, but it's like 12 hours long.
Yeah, let's look at that.
Or 10 hours long.
I've
I think
never seen that
before. It's like top 200.
Sat and Tango, yeah.
Yes.
The Hungarian thing. That's a book as well.
Is that a film or is that a TV show?
I think that's a film.
But
it's by Bellatar or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is like that. Like 10 hours. That's too long to obviously watch in one go.
That's just too long.
It's also about the Holocaust. So you're not gonna sit down and watch a 10-hour thing with the Holocaust.
Imagine that. Like, how good must your life be that you're like, oh, I'd love to watch a Holocaust film. You know, like everything else is so good that I can afford to take this hit for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Like dedicate an entire day to watching a film about genocide. You know.
Can't wait.
Like, I'd love to be that person. Yeah. Buzzing for Sat and Tango.
But that realistically, that is a TV. That's a TV show.
It should be anyway. Yeah.
I'm pretty, because it is. I assume that there are parts to it. Surely the fuck something that long needs to be broken up. But there's like this there's this Filipino director called Lav Diaz. I think his shortest film is 6 hours long.
Lav Diaz.
He's got a film called The Evolution of the Filipino Family.
How long's that?
I think it's 10 hours long, and it's on Mubi.
But like, what is that about? Is that actually about the evolution of the Filipino family?
Yeah, it's literally about it's like a Boyhood, but like longer, because he's stretched over like 25 years or something like that. And he's like, it starts off, the film is shot like changes like cameras, so like every like hour or something the camera quality gets a little bit better.
Oh yeah. It's shot over time.
But like, 10 hours and stuff like that, like, because I'm pretty sure Decalogue, the way that, that thing Decalogue?
Yeah, Decalogue, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's meant to be a 10-hour experience. Who the fuck? It's literally split into 10 different parts. Who the fuck is ever going to watch that as one solid thing?
Yeah, that's a TV show, though, isn't it? Or it was. Or was it broken up into a TV show?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because it's always seen as a 10. It's always seen as like as a TV show. Like if it's on IMDb, it's regarded as a TV show. On you know, it is like fucking. It's 10 hours long, whatever. But the first time I ever heard about it was like someone, I can't remember who the fuck it was, being like, "Yeah, I just thought it was insane that you could make something that's 10 hours long." I was like, "It's a fucking TV show."
Yeah.
But I think that like
it's like watch The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's like
how the fuck
400 hours long.
Yeah, how did they do that?
How did they do this? Yeah. Man, the list for top 250 in Letterboxd, interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
there's loads of stuff in there I've never even heard of. We've never even looked at.
Yeah,
we should look at more
things
of
that you never heard of because like unlike IMDb, Letterboxd people are extremely pretentious. So foreign language films get like way up there.
Well, they're a different level of pretentious.
They're way different.
In other words, was it IMDb has like was it Shawshank?
Yeah.
Which is like pretentious in 2008 or something like that, you know. And then like it's like Dark Knight and like Godfather and all this stuff.
I think it goes Shawshank, Godfather Part 1, Godfather Part 2, Dark Knight, 12 Angry Men. I think that's the way it goes.
12 Angry Men.
I think so.
But that's like film, bro. That's the first level.
Yeah,
it's like the iceberg meme. It's like that's still on top of the water. And then you get to Letterboxd and like there's some deep sort of list that we've never even heard of that has the real, you know, pretentious list. The real list.
Yeah, the like / pretentious movies.
Yeah,
Top 250.
Uh-huh.
Wait, I want to see what
they have fucking Shawshank Redemption at 13.
Oh man, I'm a fucking genius. I actually was right. It literally goes Shawshank, Godfather Part 2, Dark Knight, 12 Angry Men. Oh, shows you what I did when I was like a teenager.
What an accolade! Yeah, no, I have to get into
Even
these.
Parasite is number 1 in Letterboxd.
Yeah, that's a bit cringe, isn't it?
But it is
Come
just
on.
it's a super accessible, pretentious movie.
True. Come and see a second. I'm never watching that.
Fair enough.
Never watching that. It's too depressing.
Godfather's up there as well, isn't it? Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's 4 and 5.
What's number 3?
Harakiri.
Is that a Kurosawa film, isn't
Kobayashi. It's
Never heard of them.
It's about a samurai.
It's like 4 hours as well, isn't it?
It's 2 hours. Some 2 hours long. That sounds like a podcast adventure.
Considering that like everything around it is like 3 hours long.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's kind of piqued my interest. Yeah, I've never heard of most of these. I feel like such a pleb now.
Have you ever watched it? I don't think I've ever seen a samurai movie. That wasn't fucking Kill Bill, if you want to.
Kill Bill. Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Because Kill Bill is meant to be one movie.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, 4 hours.
I don't know about that. That would be top. That'd be number 1 on IMDb if that was actually 4 hours. They'd be creaming their pants. Tarantino.
I'm pretty sure Letterboxd do include has like volume 1, volume 2, but they also have the third. Like they do because there's a cut of it
Combined.
that is a combined version, and they do have that as well. Yeah, I've never because like Seven Samurai, that film's like 3.5 hours.
Is it? It's number 6.
Like I think
on this list.
I think that is
it's 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
My God.
But that's like an extremely well known film, but it's also incredibly long.
Yeah, fuck that. Well, so are the Lord of the Rings and all, you know.
That fucking last Lord of the Rings film, I think there's a cut of that is like 4 hours long.
I just wouldn't be able. I would.
The extended cut of it, I think it's like 3.5 hours long or something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Yeah, we should go through that list. Yeah, Satin Tango, 432 minutes.
Yeah.
How do you watch that? Why would you watch that?
So it's 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's manageable.
Oh, it's only 8 hours? Okay.
This is a working day.
Throw that on there.
Yeah.
Pull that up. Yeah, not bad.
Watch it dubbed.
Yeah.
No worries. Come on,
here, this is boring.
This is fucking dry.
It's not even in colour.
Wait, is that a documentary or is that a...
No, it's a...
Is it just a TV show? Like...
No, it's a movie, yeah.
Oh, a
it's
movie,
based on a book.
Based
on a book by some Hungarian fella.
Mad fuckers.
So... You never know with the Hungarians, all those random countries that have one film.
Man, I went onto Mubi because I wanted to know what the top rated films on Mubi were after looking at. That's the That's the deep layer.
The deep cut, yeah.
The deep cut is
yeah.
like the movie top 100 films.
Yeah.
And Come and See is also like, I think it's 2 or 3 or something like that. But you click onto it and it gives you like the most popular reviews. The most popular review is a 1-star review of the film being like, this is very anti-German. It's like, it's a film about World War II.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean it's
I don't know
anti-German?
if you're a history buff or not, but World War II didn't reflect very well on the on Germany. You know?
I'm pretty sure it's directed by a Jewish person as well.
Is this Come and See?
Yeah.
Is it about Russia?
I have no idea. I have no idea what Come and See is about.
I thought you would have watched that by now.
It's on the list. I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I just want to find somewhere, like, because it's on YouTube, but the version on YouTube is shorter than what it says on Letterboxd.
I remember it was in the Lighthouse just before COVID. It was on the Lighthouse.
That is perfect timing for that film. It's like, here, come get depressed and then fuck off home for
Yeah.
6 months.
And then sit in your room for 18 months by yourself.
Just think about it.
Think about it. Yeah. What does it mean? Yeah, all very depressing stuff.
Yeah. Except for
Depressing
Love
stuff.
Exposure. Love Exposure is fun.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want from our art films.
Is Dredd
Dredd
depressing?
is dreadful. No, that's not true. Dredd is not depressing at all. It's actually a knock 'em sock 'em, barrel of laughs, fun for the whole family. It's really good. It's good,
Yeah.
but I take that back. It's not really good. It's like 3.5 stars.
Yeah, it's grand, isn't it?
It's grand. It reminded me of RoboCop, but not as good.
It's like RoboCop and The Raid mixed together. And
Yeah.
not as good as either one of those films.
Yeah, how is it compared to The Raid?
It's the same plot.
The exact same thing.
Yeah, I don't know why. I want to find out. There has to be something done about that. That The Raid and Dredd literally have the exact same plot. Like, police go into a tower block with big baddie at the top and they have to work their way up to the top.
Yeah.
Like, that's the plot for both films.
Uh-huh.
And they're both, stylized action films.
Yeah.
There had to have been something, some like TED Talk or something had to have come out like in 2008, and people were like, "Here, that's a great idea for a film."
Yeah. What struck me watching Dredd was like, this is clearly an adaptation of a video game. Because the premise, like as you say, it's about 2 cops, 2 judges, and they're like the perfect synthesis, like the fascist synthesis of like judge, jury, executioner in one person. Like super cops that go in and like they have like legal authority to kill people on site, and they go into this tower block, which is just like a dilapidated like favela, just like in the sky, and they're looking for like some drug lord has killed people, and they're looking for the perpetrator, and they end up getting locked inside, and they're trapped with this huge sort of like this El Chapo character who like controls the flow of this.
And she's like, there's a hit on these cops if you kill them. Does she do that?
Yeah.
That's literally what they do in The Raid as well.
Yeah, she has the intercom and she's like, everyone in Mega City 1, I think it's called, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
This big fucking tower block. Take or get the judges and like you will be spared. Anyone found collaborating with them will be like, your entire bloodline will be destroyed.
The exact same plot as The Raid. Like, I'm not saying that that Dredd copied The Raid, because that's not how movies are made. Like Dredd.
It's a great premise.
Yeah,
it's an amazing premise. It's a very, very simple premise.
But why did 2 people, or like two groups of people, have the exact same idea at the exact same time?
I don't know.
Chronos fucked up there, bro.
Chronos, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like steam engine time. The way they came up with the steam engine came up with riding at the same time.
Yeah,
it's different sides of the world. What does that mean?
Something had to have come out beforehand to like very recently beforehand, because even like The Raid is like an Indonesian film, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
but it's directed by an American dude.
Gareth Evans or something.
Yeah, where he's like Welsh or something.
Yeah. But like, because Dredd is based on the comic book character, which is the thing. I was thinking, like Dredd kind of seems, because I prefer RoboCop. I was like, Dredd kind of seems like a rip-off. But it turns out RoboCop is actually a rip-off of Dredd.
Have you ever seen the original Dredd?
No.
Sylvester Stallone, yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's terrible.
Yeah, apparently it's awful.
Yeah. But like that's based on the comic book character, Judge Dredd. Joseph Dredd is his full name.
Joey Dredd.
Hey, Joey Dredd from the
Joey
streets.
Dredd, get in here.
Joey.
It's me, Tony Soprano.
Yeah. Sopranos 3000, yeah. But like the whole premise, what struck me watching the film is The way they're locked in. At least it's like the first level of a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Go into this mysterious tower block and find the killer, and then they catch the killer, and then you're locked in, and you have to fight your way to the top, and they go up level by level. I was like, this is an arcade game.
Yeah, it is.
But it's a movie. And
It's a stylized movie.
Yeah, but that's exactly what you want from like a video game film.
And a very simple action film.
But then I was thinking, it's not a video game film. It's just it's a comic book character.
Yeah.
So I was like,
It's
what am I
just
doing? But like, I don't know.
But it's not a video game. It's a comic book character.
It's a comic book character. It's not a video game. But like, the premise is so solid. There has to be there must be something there with the raid, you know. But like, it's just a very simple, easy, very tense kind of setup to a film, and it's executed very well. It's all very stylized. Your man Alex Garland, he wrote this. He's the guy who did. This is his follow up to Sunshine, and
did he write Sunshine?
he wrote loads of amazing films, and then he directed Ex Machina, which is like renowned for like a few years back when it came out.
That film has dropped out, hasn't it? People
Because it wasn't that good, was it?
I
It was
watched
good.
I was watching it and I was like, this is pretty good. Like, this is pretty good.
Yeah. I remember like reading about it. It's like some philosophical insight. It was like, oh, this is groundbreaking
This is
film
the
about
new-
AI.
This is the 2001 of AI.
Yeah, it's like she's a robot, but then she has human feelings.
Yeah.
What?
It's
It's like,
Blade Runner, isn't it?
yeah. That's like every robot film,
That's
isn't it?
literally every robot film. iRobot did that as well.
Yeah. That's literally iRobot. Man, we should revisit iRobot. That film is class.
Man,
I love that film.
Neil made a joke about iRobot the other day, and I fucking pissed myself because I completely forgot that was a film.
Yeah. Man, I used to love that film.
Yeah,
it's so
same.
cheesy,
It's so cheesy.
but it's
I say
class.
that film looks like shit now.
I'd say it does. With the self-driving cars and Will Smith like jumping out in like the underground highway.
Yeah.
It predicted the future.
It
Though.
did
the,
predict the future.
the Hyperloop self-driving cars. Soon we'll have-
Everything has a Tesla sheen to it in that film.
Yeah.
I guarantee Elon Musk fucking loves iRobot.
Yeah, probably base his life off that or something. And then he has the robotic arm and stuff. I
Yeah.
always wanted the robotic arm when I was a kid. Luke Skywalker and Will Smith and iRobot. That's what I wanted.
That's all that you want.
That's all I want.
That's all every little boy's dream.
Yeah. But Dredd, yeah, it's very, very good. Very well stylized. Very tense. It's also very gory. Very gory.
I remember watching and being very surprised because I watched this like years ago. I remember very little about this film, but then I remember it coming back to me that the way that she kills the guys at the start of the film is that she skins them and then she fucks them off the top of the tower.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, but yeah, she skins them. She has them skinned, and then she has them drugged because the whole thing is like this new drug, and the way this drug lord character Mama, she's played by your one from Game of Thrones. She was Cersei.
Yeah, she's great in the film.
Yeah,
she's a good actor. I can't think of her name.
She's in Dredd, she's in Dredd. She's Mama. She's like the kingpin or the queen pin of Mega City 1, and the way she's like sort of risen to the top, like literally, is she has like control of production of this new drug called slow-mo, which slows the perception of time down to like 1% of its actual speed. So like you're sitting there flaked out for like, if you're there for 10 minutes, you're there for like 1,000 minutes. I don't know. That maths is pretty wrong. But this isn't a maths podcast. But yeah. She has them drugged with slow-mo. Then they're skinned. And then they're thrown off the yoke.
Oh, so they're skinned for fucking ages in their time.
Yeah,
That's fucked.
And then they're thrown off the thing. And it takes 10 minutes to fall. Because it's
Surely
so
your
tall.
mind would just snap before that like happens to you.
Well, yeah, but you're still alive.
Yeah, but you just like your mind would just like you'd be comatose.
I don't know, would you?
I feel like you would. I feel like your brain, if you're getting skinned, like in your mind's eye for like hours, I feel like your brain would just snap and you wouldn't be able to take it.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully.
Hopefully,
You'd hope for them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got fucked. They didn't deserve it either. They're just kind of like, just average gangbangers trying to make a buck for the wife and kids. Put food on the table, and they got fucked up. And that's the inciting incident that brings Dredd and what's her name? Fucking Anderson, Judge Anderson, which is the girl.
Does the film
his apprentice.
Does the film critique the idea of judges at all?
Like,
is there anything about the fact that they are like a fascist wet dream?
Well, they're very restrained. Like they're they live by a code of honor. You can't just execute random civilians.
Yeah.
You have to have a reason.
Yeah.
You have to make up a reason first. He pretty much says that to Anderson at one point. He's like, come up with a reason to kill him.
Yeah.
Because it's her first kill. Like the whole thing is she has to be initiated into
Come up with a reason.
she has to be initiated into the thing. That's basically she failed all her her guard exams or whatever, or her judge exams, and
She couldn't speak Irish. She was like, get the fuck.
yeah, get the fuck. But she's a dud, but she's allowed in. She's brought in as a rookie because she has telepathic ability. She can read minds. So they're like, oh, she's really useful, and she's a mutant. Apparently, there's mutants out in because it's like a post-apocalyptic wasteland after the nuclear war. So like, there's all these mutants out in the the outer lands, and like they have like fucking 10 legs and like no eyes and stuff, but she's just like a conventionally attractive like young woman, and it's like, get her on the force.
Yeah, she's hot and she can read minds.
yeah, she's perfect, and so they task Judge Dredd with training her in basically on her first day, and it's like a sink or swim kind of scenario.
Who plays Judge Dredd?
Carl Urban, the guy. He's in Star Trek. He's in many things.
Yeah, because I always remember people being like, "Oh yeah, he's really good at Judge Dredd," but I can never remember what else he's in. I just know that he's in Judge Dredd.
I don't even think he's that good at Judge Dredd. He just does a Batman voice for the entire film.
Isn't it? It is just a Batman voice.
I'm Judge Dredd. I was reading
You
about.
have to come up with a reason to kill.
Don't kill civilians. Yeah, because I don't know, because I read about how he had to get into the role and stuff like that. Like, how do you get into the role of Judge Dredd? Like,
fascist.
He just became a fascist. Yeah, he just like went on the beat with a few cops in like in the middle of America or something like that.
He's like, yeah, this is easy.
Yeah. I get I vibe with what you're doing, guys. Yeah. Carl Urban. What else is he in? He's in Xena, Warrior Princess. He's in loads of things. He's in Riddick. He's in Thor Ragnarok.
So he's kind of.
He's in lots of these kind of films.
Yeah.
But
never the star, always someone else.
Yeah, always the bridesmaid, except for in this one. And he does a good job. He's very threatening, but he's not doing much. He's just like he's like the muscle. And there's a whole dynamic where he's like the experienced, he's the elder cop who's like one day off retirement.
Yeah.
And she's like the rookie on her first day, and he has to like decide if she's ready for the force. And then they get like thrown into this insane situation where they're basically, it's 2 against like 10,000 people, or like 1 million people or something like that. It's like a huge block, so the odds are stacked against him. But like Judge Dredd's such a beast that like
he just battles his way through.
He just like throws grenades everywhere in the middle of like an apartment complex, because he has like, so like obviously it's like a complete shutdown when they lock all the doors, and there's like a huge like sort of military shutdown. There's no way in or out, and it's mainly just like the gang members, sort of chasing after Dredd, who are around. But there's like huge civilian casualties, and like entire complexes are blown up.
It's their fault for living there, Mark. Though, isn't it? Should have bought a different gaff.
Yeah, in a better area. Yeah, yeah. But like, he serves the people, but at the same time,
he also butchers them.
He doesn't really care. That's the thing. It's like a. In one way, it's like a fantasy of like perfect justice, where you can like dish it out without any accountability, except like it's like a divine kind of thing. It's like, this person is a murderer. He's a terrible person. Let's execute him right here. There's no one's gonna object except for the fact, he has like rights and stuff like that. It's gonna be like a trial. It's gonna take ages. But like Judge Dredd is like he is the judge. He is the jury.
He's judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah. Like that's like the fantasy of like, I don't know, any kind of justice system, I suppose.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like a nightmare scenario where like it's only Judge Dredd and like the judges who have any kind of like political or like juridical power or whatever, like legal power. Like the society that they're in has completely given up on any kind of society or like social engineering. Like they've just abandoned this entire tower block. Like the thing shuts down and there's 2 cops trapped inside and no one cares.
Yeah,
no one in the rest of the city is like, oh, why is that shut down? Like why is it like just been encased?
It's all just mini
in metal?
states. Like every tower has its own state.
Yeah, no one cares for anyone else. It's just like, like we're all kind of fucked. At least we have the judges to like keep law and order. And when they're first entering the tower block, there's this like little beggar, and he's not even a beggar. He's just chilling there. He's like this homeless fella, and he's saying he will debase himself for food or something like that. And he's sitting just in the doorway of this apartment complex, and the judge is like, he's like, that's a violation of Code C, Section 5. It's like, don't be here when I get back, or else you get like 10 years in like the fucking ISO cubes or something like that, you know, for like being a vagrant. It's like, what? Where's the justice in this world, you know? Dredd, you know, 10 years for being a vagrant. And as they're about to leave, obviously things all shut down, and it kind of sums up the whole film. The vagrant gets squashed under, like, by the doors, like slamming down. Yeah. And then they're just like, oh well, he was only a vagrant, you know, 10 years in the ISO cubes. It doesn't matter if he died or not, you know. He's fucked like everyone else except
Big Bad got killed though. That's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Justice was eventually served.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you have a happy ending at the end of the film. Well, not a happy ending. Like, you have a resolution at the end of the film, but like, you can't imagine anything beyond the end of the film because it's just like,
it just collapses.
It's just a dystopia.
It's like Peacemaker. It's literally Peacemaker from fucking Suicide Squad. It's like, I love peace so much, I don't care how many men, women and children have to kill to get it.
Yeah. That's the vibe anyway. Yeah, it's a cool kind of dystopian trip.
You should watch The Raid if you haven't seen it. The Raid I think The Raid actually manages like that concept of like cops stuck there, because they don't ever. Firstly, they get away with it because they're not using guns. They're hand-to-hand combat. So it's not. So there's no fucking civilians getting blown to bits. Like,
yeah.
Except for maybe in one scene, but like, I don't.
That's collateral damage.
But it's not actually, no. They're not even killed, because it does show you that like no one was hurt. Like, no civilians were hurt. The film does take time to show you. No, don't worry about it. There weren't any civilians there. Or just for this one explosion, the one explosion in the film, there wasn't any civilians around, so don't worry about it. It's grand.
Yeah. It has even at the end of Dredd, there's like a sort of subplot where the judges are actually corrupt as well, because they get backup at one stage, and the judges, these backup judges come in, they're all actually evil, you know.
Yeah.
Like, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Which is where I thought about like RoboCop, because RoboCop is the same thing, where like everyone's evil. Like, all the entire police force is corrupt, but RoboCop does it way better. Yeah, because it's about like the structure of the police force and like why they're corrupt, rather than Judge Dredd is like, they're just evil, you know. It's like, it's the landscape, it's the nukes or whatever.
Yeah, like RoboCop isn't even a good guy really. Like,
not really, no. Because he's just a robot.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
he's not like Judge Dredd is like the one moral character, I guess, in the film. Like, from what you're saying, like Anderson.
Yeah.
But in RoboCop, not even your hero is 100% a hero.
Yeah. And even if he is a hero, it doesn't really matter, because he can't.
Yeah.
You know, it all comes down from the top, all trickles down, and I don't know. Maybe that's more in the comics of like Judge Dredd or something. Or I haven't seen the original either.
I don't think the Sylvester Stallone film is going to be a great critique of like,
of the police state. We gotta defund the police.
Adrian, we gotta. Oh, nice matter.
Yeah. Oh man, the Expendables 5. That'll be that.
There is an Expendables 4, isn't there?
Yeah. There was too many of them anyway.
There really fucking was. I'm pretty sure one of them. I genuinely think one of them is like 2.5 hours long.
2.5 hours long
of an Expendables movie. Who the fuck is that for?
Yeah, why did they make all them? That's another kind of weird phenomenon there. It was like the early 2010s. Remember Red?
Yeah, there's like,
and they had the Expendables.
Man, I swear, I'm on Jim Instagram, right? It is the fucking worst. I don't know how.
Gymnasiums.
No, like weightlifting.
Oh yeah,
fucking shit. And I got one of them, because I'm also on I also get film stuff, so they blended it together to give me film bro stuff.
Alright.
I was like, this is not what I want, but anyway.
Yeah, the Instagram algorithm is so bad.
It's so bad. And like, the only way to fucking get out of it is just by like holding down each individual photo and just be like, not interested, just to eventually get that shit off. But it gave me one photo, right? And it was like action heroes in the 80s, and it was fucking Sylvester Stallone and fucking Arnie just roided up to the fucking max, looking massive. And it was like superhero or like action heroes now, and it's like Tom Holland, Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, like, you know, beta males in the eyes of this fucking cock that put this up.
Yeah. My God, they don't take enough steroids.
I was just sitting there. I was like, yeah, because you don't. It's, you know, I guarantee you, you fucking dickhead whoever put this up, you're a massive Marvel fan.
Yeah, exactly. Plus,
And it's also like, they have Hulk and fucking Thor in those movies
and
as well.
Captain America, man.
And Captain America.
Yeah, and like
Jacked fucking dudes as well.
Chris Pratt, Star-Lord. And like, see all the people in the new Eternals ones?
They got
They're all-
Batista.
yeah. All these people are on steroids.
Yeah.
All of them, you know? It's the exact same as it was in the 80s. And even in the 80s, you had Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
You know, all these average Joe heroes. And it's the same as it was. But it's pretty funny seeing like all those old photos.
But those the Expendables is literally like, yeah, we're old, but we still kick ass.
We still do steroids. Yeah, those films are just bizarre.
I wonder if there's like something there. If there is like some cultural reading of like, you know, the 2010s, just before, you know, everything crumbled, like in terms of like what the idea of like America in the past and stuff like that. Like the 80s was still good, the 70s was the best time. America's still great and stuff like that. Like
it's just like 75-year-old men falling apart. Like,
yeah, it's just
they're all
crumbling.
all about to die of heart attacks. Like all those people in those films will be dead in 10 years. They'll be gone.
Jeez, yeah, man, I'm surprised that like none of them are like not don't wish death upon them, but I'm surprised that they're not like
like the stuff they did.
like Arnie's like in his mid 70s, and I know like the 70s isn't that old. They did a lot of steroids back then.
Serious and a lot of drugs. You know, that's
kind of just shows if you have money, don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way it is. But sure, look, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Watch this space.
We will be the breaking news when any of the Expendables dies. We'll be the first one to report
We'll
it.
just like preempt the news every episode.
Surely one of them. I'm sorry, but it's like surely one of the Expendables is dead. Like.
Surely. Well, one of them has died at some point.
At some point, or in the future.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
God, I really hope none of them die by the time this podcast comes out.
Yeah, Arnie Schwarzenegger passed away peacefully at home. Rip.
R.I.P. King. Right, we go for break. Once again, we are back from the break, and we are returning to a previously touched on franchise. Our new franchise that we've decided that we're going to go through now together.
Which is also our old franchise.
Which is also an old franchise we've had before. Multiple times. We touched on this franchise again and again.
But we haven't talked about its latter parts.
Yeah. Or it's
the nether regions. The bowels of this franchise.
Yeah, we're going to go into the pits with this franchise now.
We're going to plumb the depths of the Halloween franchise.
Yes. Because we talked briefly, we definitely touched on Halloween, the original Halloween film, multiple times.
Definitely, yeah.
Maybe we'll do a full-on talk about it when we go through the franchise at the end. Like do a full go of it.
Yeah.
But, you know, we've talked about Halloween 2. We've last year we did, like, our Halloween episode was Halloween 3.
Which is now on Netflix.
Which is now on Netflix as well.
Classic.
I touched on Halloween, one of the remakes, when I was going through my Rob Zombie stuff. But now, me and you, we're going to go through Halloween 4, 5, The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween H20, and
The Revenge.
And Halloween Resurrection or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. Whatever.
Is there 3 more after these?
There's 3 more films after these two that we go through today.
We'll be grand.
Because we're blitzing it. We're going to blitz these ones before we get to Halloween.
Yeah, we're going to blitz these. We'll be grand. Because they're kind of similar anyway, you know?
They are very much the same film.
They're pretty much the same thing again, yeah.
Yeah, just
slight modifications.
In a similar way to the Texas Chainsaw franchise, which I didn't really... Well, they get a lot weirder than... Well, nothing is weirder than Texas Chainsaw 4, but...
That's the thing. That's what you want, though.
Yeah.
I think we kind of maybe slept on. Maybe we're too harsh. I was certainly far too harsh in my, not even my appraisal, because I'd never seen these films before, but I think we maybe underestimated some value that might be there.
I assumed that they were going to be dog shit. I assumed that all of them are going to be dog shit.
I wrote them all off years ago. It's like, these are shy. Not watching them. But then I did watch them.
The 4th one's pretty good.
The 4th one is good.
Yeah.
The 4th one is pretty good. The Return of Michael Myers.
Yeah. I would say it's better than Halloween 2.
Yeah, I suppose, because it's like it's a proper continuation.
Yeah.
You know? It's like 1988, I think is.
Boy, howdy, they retconned the shit out of the end of Halloween 2. Because Halloween 2 is Loomis and Michael Myers are dead. And then this one is like, well, no, not really. They actually got out of the fire.
Actually, he's back. Yeah. Wait, what's going on with Laurie in the beginning of Halloween 4? Is she dead?
She's dead.
Is she dead?
She died off camera. They just mentioned it briefly. I think there's one line about it.
Because I was thinking, because there's the whole thing is what's her daughter? Her fucking daughter's name? Cher Lloyd or something.
Fucking hell. The main character. What the fuck is this kid's name? I don't know.
Jamie Lloyd. That's her name.
Jamie, yes.
Jamie Lloyd. The daughter of Laurie Strode is Jamie Lloyd, and she's an orphan. She's been orphaned by the fact that Laurie Strode is now dead for some reason.
For whatever reason.
It's never wasn't explained. Well, I don't think we caught it anyway. Whatever the explanation was.
I think it might have been a suicide.
Yeah, maybe.
Because of trauma.
Yeah, but like they could have expanded on that. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
She deserved more than just
yeah.
being, like one line mentioning that
They
she
could
died.
have made a whole film about that.
Yeah.
But basically, she's still alive. The daughter, Jamie Lloyd, is still alive, and she's with her foster family, and they're still in Haddonfield.
Mm-hmm. For whatever reason.
Yeah. Would you not move her out of the state or something like that?
Move her out of the city where her fucking family were terrorized.
Yeah,
like
the street is like the same neighborhood and all.
Yeah.
Like.
it's around the block. Like
Yeah. And but she's with her foster family, but she's still haunted. She's constantly haunted, and she's seeing, like, she has nightmares, but she doesn't know that the person, the figure in her nightmares is the Shape. It's Michael Myers. It's this demon kind of figure that's haunting their family.
Yeah, she has generational trauma.
Yeah, literally.
Which I didn't realize, because I was watching this and like, you know, when she's getting haunted by Michael Myers at the start, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like they're doing a generational trauma thing. I didn't realize, like, I thought generational trauma was like, you know, if your mom or your dad experienced trauma and they act like a certain way, it's going to give you trauma because of that. Generational trauma is literally like, if you experience enough trauma, your genes are modified and scarred from it, and that, like, you literally pass on your trauma. I did not know that. I didn't realize that that's what generational trauma was.
Is it? Is it not using like both senses?
No. It's literally your genes.
It's a genetic expression.
It's a genetic expression.
Is it?
Yeah,
I read that before about some people in Scotland are like Americans of like Irish and Scottish lineage.
Yes.
Apparently process food slower
Yes.
because they were more exposed to famine in the past.
So
They're fatter. Irish Americans and Scottish Americans are fatter than normal because, like, I don't know, their genes are like made to preserve food longer than usual
because of the famine. Yeah.
Because of famines and stuff like that.
And I think that's the same thing with anyone with any you know, country or whatever. There's a generational trauma with famine then.
Which it carries on.
And you know, obviously the Holocaust, there's a generational trauma with the Jewish people across the world as well. Did not know that was a thing. Anyway,
I didn't know that.
Halloween 4 taught me something there. Didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, so she's literally psychically trapped by her generational trauma. It's carried on, and she's haunted figuratively and literally by Michael Myers, the Shape, who you don't even know if he's a real guy. Really, this film is like, it's kind of like blurring the lines. This guy is not real by the end of this film.
By the end, it's like when we get into the fifth film, this is not a real person.
Yeah, he's just not a person. Like
he was barely a person in the first film. Like he's not a person in the first film. Like, which is kind of the point. But but
he's more of a ghost. And these, he's like a demon or something like that.
Yeah, he's like the It Follows thing. He's just coming after you constantly, just walking constantly.
Yeah. But there's also like a kind of like a cartoon characterization of Loomis. Loomis is just completely like retarded in these films.
Loomis is so bad in these movies.
Loomis is just so silly. Like, he's a cartoon character. The guy's literally gone off the wall. There's no way to justify anything that he does or says. He's just an insane man.
How is he still a doctor?
How is he still the head of the play? Like, he shot his own patient, and he's still, like, that's one of those things where, like, if you're in a prison and the fucking inmates escape and you shoot them all dead, it's like, they're not like, oh, good job. They're like, you let them escape.
Yeah.
You know, that's your fault. Loomis let Michael Myers escape, and he killed loads of people, and like eventually took him down. But then they're like, he's all right, you know. Don't forget about it, you know. But he just acts absolutely insane from the word go. Like Halloween 4, like he goes on like a road trip, you know, because he hears that obviously Michael Myers is like getting transported, from like one hospital to another.
Yeah, because he's still like fucked up and burnt.
Yeah, he's still in bits,
which makes me question. Like, when we get onto it, I'll get into it now because I'll forget about it. Like in the fifth film, when he takes off his mask, he's just a regular looking dude, even though he's literally been in a fire in the second film.
Yeah, he has a full head of hair and all, like.
Right, whatever.
But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Michael Myers is getting transported via ambulance to like some other institution, and or like out of hospital or something like that. And the paramedics on the way are talking about I don't know, his family or something like that. Talking about the fact he has a niece, and he's like, his eyes like bolt open. He's like, oh shit, I have a niece.
Yeah,
you know,
the power of Halloween surges through him once again.
Yeah. He harnesses the power of Samhain, and he just like bursts through his restraints and just massacres everyone in the ambulance. And the whole obviously he escapes and stuff like that. And Loomis catches wind of this, obviously somehow, and he immediately races to the scene.
How does he find out again?
He has a feeling. I'm pretty sure because
he just knows.
Because the whole thing is Mars is only being transported because the guy below Loomis in the correctional facility or like the institution or whatever signed off on it, knowing that Loomis would never agree to transport him somewhere else, like beyond his kind of his oversight. So he did this under Loomis's nose, and somehow Loomis knows that this has happened, and he comes in. He's like, "Where's Michael Myers?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Like, where's he at?" And like, oh, he's gone. And he's like, he's gonna escape. He's gonna escape. Like he knows he's gonna escape. And he ends up at like the scene of the crash with like the ambulance is like it's like ditched in like a creek or something like that. I don't know.
It's like he's submerged in water and everyone's dead.
Yeah, everyone's just massacred. And he's like, he has a walking stick and all, and his face is all fucked up from the fire. And he goes on like a one-man crusade to hunt down the serial killer, which is on the loose.
Boy, fucking howdy does he. Like, he is hauling ass after Michael Myers.
This elderly man with a cane, and like he can barely see out of his like right eye, and he's like, he's hauling ass after this serial killer, like following him into the countryside, and there's a showdown at like a bar, which was kind of out of place.
I was like, he's like,
this is like something that happens in the third act.
He's like, let's fucking do this. He's like taking off his gloves. He's like, let's fucking rock, Michael.
Yeah. He's like, take me, Michael, take me. The film's only began.
Yeah,
you know. But
I thought Loomis was. I keep wanting to say Lumless. I thought Loomis was gonna die there for a second. I was like, you're a fucking idiot. You know, he's gonna be in the fifth film. Or even if he dies here, he'll be in the fifth film.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That guy's immortal. But
he's basically Michael Myers.
The
same.
Yeah, his twins, Angel and Demon or whatever.
And even the Angel's kind of
just a bit weird. It's like, stay away from me, weirdo. But yeah. So Michael Myers escapes. They have a little showdown. An entire petrol station blows up, and then Michael Myers goes off and does his thing. He gets to Haddonfield. All the while,
Michael Myers drives. I thought I forget that he drives in the first film. But you don't see it in the first one. It's really funny at the idea of Michael Myers driving a fucking truck. And
he's just there changing gears now.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Get out of the fucking way.
Yeah, imagine cutting off Michael Myers.
Michael Myers road rage.
Yeah. But, so he escapes and he's off to Haddonfield. And Loomis he's just fucked. Like, he's already fucked. He's an elderly man. He's injured, severely injured. He's been in the middle of an explosion at the petrol station. So he has to hitchhike to Haddonfield. And he gets pranked as well, like twice. Why was that in the film? Like he gets like people like pull in and like way, and they pull away and like blow loads of dust in his face. What is that like? But eventually he gets a lift with some. Like it's just this incredible like cross country trip. Like it's kind of like a side plot. For no reason.
Am I thinking about the fourth film? It is the fourth film where he gets into the car and he's like, I'm after this dude. And he's like, you're after something greater as well. You're after evil. It's like, I've been trying to... He's like some like weird bounty hunter dude.
It's like a preacher. Yeah. And he's like... Yeah, straight away Loomis gets in the car. He's like, I know what you're up to.
Yeah.
You're after the same thing as me. And something about good and evil. And they have like a philosophical discussion like on the road trip.
It's like a shittier version of what's in the first film.
Yeah. And he's drinking and driving the entire time. And I don't know if eventually they get to Haddonfield, and then there's the big kind of showdown because Michael Myers is back to reap what he's sown. He's gonna get Jamie Lloyd and like finish off.
Who was a great little actor.
She's an amazing actor.
Yeah, she's great.
Very, very good. I think her name is Danielle Harris.
Screams like a fucking queen. She's fantastic.
She's actually great.
Yeah.
Great actor, like.
She's a great scream queen.
Yeah. She was. I think she's only been in those kinds of films as well. She wasn't in anything else.
She's actually in the Halloween remakes. She plays Laurie's mate in them.
Yeah, you're saying.
So she's basically just in the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
She's great though, no?
Yeah, fair play.
I can't remember from the remakes, but these ones, she's great.
Oh yeah,
great little actor.
But Yeah,
She's like 12 or something.
yeah, she's all fucked up. Yeah, she's only a wee bab, like, and she carries these two films.
I think she's even younger than 12. I think she's like 8 or 9.
Yeah, she's very young anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's being hunted by Michael Myers, and it's basically a replay of, every other
Yeah.
Halloween film, where there's like cat and mouse game through Haddonfield. He kills like loads of like immoral teenagers.
Yeah.
It's Halloween night.
It's Halloween. It's a Halloween movie.
It's Halloween night.
But I like the bit where he picks up his mask.
In the shop.
Yeah, he just picks him up in the shop.
Yeah, because that kind of explains why his mask is so bad.
Yeah.
Because his mask is not good in this. It's way worse than Halloween 5, but in this one it's like, it just looks really cheap. But the reason is because he's become so iconic. And this is the thing I was like reading about, in like the production. Part of the production of the film or the idea behind the film, was to have, kind of a story about the town, which is kind of what I think the new film is about. Kind of like a mob, because there's a mob in this film as well.
Yeah, and then in Halloween Kills is a mob. Yeah.
Yeah. So the original idea I think for Halloween 4 was about a town that like outlaws Halloween. I can't remember if it's actually in the film.
I was kind of wondering. One thing I was confused about, right, was why is there a Halloween shop in Haddonfield that's selling Michael Myers masks?
Yeah, it's like obviously less than 10 years after he massacred like 4 or 5 people.
But like it's the same night as like.
Oh yeah,
because Halloween 2, so he massacred.
He killed. They had to give like a body count in this as well. It's like 16, 17 people. Like this guy killed. He was a mass killer. Like imagine you go into
imagine people dressing up as fucking Ted Bundy or something like that. Like
imagine you go to like, Columbine or whatever, and they're selling like fucking shooter masks. Yeah. It's like what is this?
Fuck, yeah.
Like this is even sooner, But like I think the original idea was like a town that tries to forget so hard tries to forget this atrocity, so hard that it brings it back to life in that kind of way. Like it turns him into an icon, kind of like, objectifies it or like distances the event, so far from reality that the event like sneaks back up on them, you know, that kind of thing. I think that was
like
the idea.
History repeats itself.
Yeah, history repeating itself. Like even though like that's the one thing you're trying not to do. But obviously if you're trying not to do that, don't have Halloween masks of spree killer, less than 10 years after the spree kill happened. It's pretty simple.
And no one really says anything because like people would have seen Michael Myers just fucking like leave the place dressed like that, and no one says anything.
Yeah. The fact that people dress up as him as well, like that's in the 5th one.
Yeah,
like people dress up as him for Halloween.
The 5th one was just a fucking awful film, but wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite? Like, okay, because like in the first film, I imagine if we're talking about slasher films, what was your favorite kill? Because my own was 100% the shotgun. Lost my shit when Michael Myers used the shotgun in a very innovative way.
In Halloween 4, best kill.
Just fucking rams it through your one.
Yeah. I can't even remember. I don't even know.
That whole like love triangle thing fucking sucked in this film.
With Brady and
your one that
what was her name?
Your one that works in the shop. That whole thing fucking sucked.
Yeah.
That was just so. I was like, this is so fucking pointless.
But they kind of needed that to get her away from what's her name? Jamie, yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's chaperoning. Because like the side plot where the babysitter, she's the babysitter. I know Jamie's sister, her foster sister, is being asked to babysit Jamie for Halloween night, and that's the whole. It's replaying again, and she's like chaperoning Jamie around on Halloween, and then they get separated because she's caught up with like her relationship troubles with this guy called Brady.
Yeah,
like
he's the guy. He's in Dazed and Confused.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. But yeah, that was a bit shit.
Yeah, it was.
It was just stupid.
But I did like you say. One thing that I enjoyed about the film was when they rock up, when Loomis eventually rocks up to the police station, and he's like, "Here, listen, Michael Myers is back," and like, "Shut the fuck up, oh man!
Yeah.
No, he's fucking not."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, don't tell me we're gonna have this fucking bullshit again." Of like, just like, no, he's not really around or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, like within that scene, they're like, "Oh shit, the power, like communications is out. That's not normal." Okay, we believe you.
Yeah, straight away.
And straight away, like, right, fuck this. No, let's fucking load up and let's hunt this fucker down. And even like the people in the bar when they're like ringing, they're like because they institute a curfew for everyone to like get the fuck home, like stay indoors, lock up, and all these drunks at the bar are just like, well, what the fuck is this about? And it's like, oh shit, the police station isn't answering. This isn't right. Load up, boys. We're going on a hunt.
Yeah, the mob assembles. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of, it was easier than having like half an hour of like Loomis going, "Oh, I was right. He's back."
Yeah, I did not want to deal with that for
Yeah.
fucking half an hour.
That's what the cops are probably thinking as well. It's
Yeah.
like, we'll just believe this guy.
Fucking just believe him.
He's too annoying.
Look at him like.
Yeah. We'll give him something to do. Yeah, but yeah, and then there's a whole showdown.
Yeah, and then there's the end. It's
The ending is the best part of the fourth one.
yeah,
Because it plays properly into the whole trauma, the cycles of trauma, which is what the whole series is about.
yeah,
Because obviously, Jamie Lloyd is suffering from generational trauma passed on through Laurie, and Laurie's past has somehow, she's also Michael's sister, which is pretty stupid. But like she it's
Look, we can't give out to the rest of the series for following up from what the second film decided to do.
true.
Like
true.
I'm not gonna give out to this film for being a sequel to a film that decided to introduce that in.
Yeah, that's true. It's not a bone to pick with this film, but so like it's all in the family and they're all fucked up, and that's the whole point. It's like it's like a replaying itself, and you can never. It's eternal.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you can't stop it, but like it's a horror film, you can't stop it.
Mm.
It can never be resolved or whatever, and you basically replay the opening scene of Halloween, the original Halloween, at the end of this film, which is a very cool callback.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool callback.
I even liked when I'm pretty sure when Jamie first puts on her like clown costume, she looks in the mirror and she sees like a younger version of Michael Myers like reflected back at her. I was like, that was cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that was the best part of the film. Because the rest is it's pretty standard,
Yeah, and then she goes in and she like stabs her foster mom or something like that.
Yeah, her foster sister.
Foster sister.
Yeah.
Was her foster sister or foster mom? I think it's revealed in the fifth film. It's the mom.
Is it? Oh,
But she doesn't actually kill her. I thought she killed her, but she doesn't actually kill her.
She just stabs her. Yeah.
She just stabs her.
Uh-huh.
And Luminous is like, no!
Yeah,
The horror! The horror!
But he tries to shoot her.
He's like, he's like, we can't have this happen again.
Yeah. He tries to shoot a little girl.
I'm trying to blow her fucking brains out.
Yeah, like he's just flat out insane, these films. But everyone takes him seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd understand him walking into the police station and then being like, this guy is fucking nuts. Like,
but he's also right. Like, we can see why he's right.
yeah, he's pretty right, but like he's also insane. He's a threat to society.
Yeah.
He's a threat to the, like, he has a thing for, or like he has it out for fucking your one Jamie. Like, as you see in the fifth one, fucks her up.
Yeah.
But like, Loomis is the real villain of this series, of this part of the series anyway.
Yeah, because then we get into the fifth film, and after being like mowed down with shotguns and shit, Michael Myers actually escapes and he survives. And in something that I never really thought about with slasher movies, but maybe don't have your slasher like icon who's meant to be this like unstoppable force looking real fucking dorky when he gets into a river and can't like keep himself up, and he's like trying to keep like the actors trying to keep balance, and he looks real dopey in the water.
Yeah, it's at his most vulnerable moment, because that's I think that's like the big mistake. There's a lot of mistakes in Halloween 5, but the big one is the fact that they try to make him really vulnerable. That was one of the, like, if the intention of the fourth one was like to sort of pull back the camera and like have like a wider scope on like Haddonfield, the fifth one is going really like way too in close.
It's a Halloween remake type of thing.
Yeah, Michael Myers, like sort of his like Rob Zombie kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's going in on his inner world and like trying to get the audience to empathize with him, which is like, nah, don't care. It just doesn't. Yeah, no one cares really, do they?
Yeah,
no one cares.
I don't want to sympathize with Ted Bundy. I don't want to sympathize with Hitler. I don't want to sympathize with these fucking monsters.
I don't want to sympathize with Hitler. Don't make me do it.
Like Lars von Trier, I understand Hitler.
Yeah. But that apparently the guy who wrote it, or the producer or something, he was like, if we can get inside Michael's head and understand that there's like two sides to him, that like, for every bad thing that he is, there's also something inside that he's like us.
Yeah, he's more human.
That somehow this guy believed that it would make it scarier, but it doesn't really, does it? It
really doesn't.
It makes it really mundane.
And all the
which is not the point.
And the other problem is that all the other characters are fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, Loomis in this film is the
Yeah.
fucking worst.
He's a cartoon character.
Just roaring at Jamie the entire time. Where is he? Because he just knows as well that, like, he just knows again. He just knows that Michael Myers is back. And now, Jamie's like,
she's psychic.
She's psychically connected, to Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's been institutionalized because she stabbed her sister, her mom, or whatever. But she can't speak anymore. She's mute. But she has
which is a thing that happens to people that go through trauma.
Is it?
Yep, that's the thing.
There you go.
Remember Remember the way that the underworld people, or like the one underworld person could talk.
I never
vaguely.
saw
You never seen that? You should watch it. It's good. But that's a real thing that happens to people that go through trauma.
Yeah. Well, that must be
especially kids.
Yeah. So she can't talk at all.
Yeah.
But she's in the institution, but she has a telepathic connection with Michael Myers, which is just stupid.
But right,
terrible idea.
Well, like, one thing that I noticed as well is that she only ever sees Michael Myers when he's gonna kill someone that she likes. Because when he then kills the babysitter, or like her foster sister from the fourth film. But when Michael Myers is killing that douchebag fucking boyfriend character,
Spitz,
Jamie doesn't fucking react at all. She doesn't care.
I don't think anyone cared.
Yeah, no one cared. One thing that I noticed in this film, and I never noticed this in films, is there was a shot. It was simply because of how the film was going. Like, it's like 45 minutes into the film, and I was like, this film is fucking bad. But there's a shot of Spitz at his car, and there's a reflection on the car, and I was like, we're gonna be able to see the camera. And not only can you see the camera, you can actually see the lights, on the set reflect off the car.
Yikes.
Yeah, I just knew. I was like, there's no way that this film's going to be able to pull this off.
It's too technically complex. Yeah, it has a lot of limitations, definitely. But yeah, it's actually hard. It's kind of hard to go through, you know. This is actually re-released last month by Scream Factory. Same people that re-released Texas Chainsaw 4.
Mm-hmm.
And they re-released this film with an extra. It's a director's cut, basically, because the original idea for this film was for. This kind of gets into the next film, which we haven't even seen.
No.
But there was the idea that Michael. There would be a reveal where Michael is revealed to be the puppet of a cult dedicated to an ancient ruin called the Thorn, which is like, you know, the Icelandic character where it's like a straight line and then like a reverse C. I don't know. Americans think that, I don't know, they thought this was like a cool thing to sort of. It's kind of like going into it's kind of melding Season of the Witch and Halloween, like the original one, you know?
Yeah.
Because this film opens with Michael Myers. Obviously, he's been thrown down the mine from Halloween 4. He's fucked. He's floating down the river, and he gets picked up by this hermit who lives in the woods. And in this film, it's only it's less than 5 minutes. It's just this old guy picks him up.
I genuinely think it's only 2 scenes.
Yeah, like it's nothing at all. Like this, it's very strangely paced.
Because I'm pretty sure he's picked up with the hermit, and then Michael Myers collapses, and it just goes 1 year later.
Yeah. And he just wakes up in the same boiler suit. It's like this guy hasn't taken care of him at all.
He's just taken off his mask, and that's it.
Yeah. And he's saved by this hermit, and it's not explained who this guy is, or like why he did this, or like what his origin is, or like why he's in the film at all. But basically, the next scene, he gets killed by Michael Myers because he's in a coma for a year for some reason, and then he wakes up and kills the hermit.
Yeah, the power of sound comes back into it again.
Yeah, exactly. And then the rest of the film happens. But also throughout the film, you have these weird scenes where it's a man in black
with cowboy boots
and like a hat, and he shows up. And he doesn't do anything or say anything.
But you never even see his face. You never even get I think the only shots of him that you ever get is from his back or from his boots.
Yeah. Like, he just it's literally like the cigarette smoking man in the X-Files.
Yeah.
He's smoking and he throws down a butt and then he walks away. And then you're like, who was that?
Yeah.
It's never explained who that guy is. It's never explained.
Never explained.
It's so funny.
And you're not even given the vaguest hint of who it could be.
Yeah, and it's not even like the film really leads into like a next installment. It's clearly like the remnants of a different film.
Yeah.
Because that's what the original idea was. That the original opening, which is part of the DVD release there last month, is Michael Myers. He's fallen down the mine. He's in the river. He's saved by the hermit, but the hermit is this really young guy, and they spend 10-15 minutes going through like sort of the backstory of this cult, which is dedicated to these ancient ruins, the ruin of Thorn, which is like this pagan kind of cult, which has a control over Michael's family, like the Myers family. So like that means like they control Michael as a kind of puppet through which they can like exterminate the other members of his family, and that's why he goes after them.
Like, I know, right? So the second film fucking destroys the idea of Michael Myers as being this force that just comes into your life and just destroys your life by making Laurie Michael Myers' sister.
Yeah, very specific to one person.
Jesus, that, like, the cult, if that's what we're going into, that is just like obliterate. That's just dropping a nuke on that idea. Like,
yeah. It's just, it doesn't really make any sense. But they could have fleshed. I feel like it would have been more interesting.
It could have been entertaining.
Yeah, in like a Texas Chainsaw 4 kind of way.
Yeah.
But then, you know, the sixth one is about that, I'm pretty sure. So we'll find out. Whatever.
We got Paul Rudd in the next one.
We got Paul Rudd. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait.
But apparently the man in black is the general, or the what you call it? The fucking the head doctor.
The Witchfinder General.
Yeah. No, he was the head doctor at the mental institution where Michael was first sectioned after he killed his sister, way back in like fucking whatever. Like,
was that not the point of Loomis though? Was Loomis not meant to be that?
I don't know.
I feel like that's what Loomis is meant to be.
I have no idea, but like that was the general explanation that I read for who the Man in Black is. But the Man in Black is the head of the cult.
Okay.
So he controls Michael, and he set a curse on Michael when he was first sectioned, and he was like, you can never escape what you've done, so now you have to relive it. Not punishing him, but as in like, this is like a kind of demonic.
Your job's not finished.
Yeah, this is a demonic kind of thing. We're pagans. Like, you have to relive this. You have to finish the job, no matter what it takes. And that way, he's kind of like not. Sort of explains why he's not human, or like he's not conventionally, like, he can't be killed, you know.
Yeah.
Which sounded kind of cool, but like the fact that the remnants are left in the film just makes it makes the film terrible, and it makes even the original idea like sound terrible, which it is.
Yeah.
But like
yeah,
they should have stuck with one, or just remade the film.
Like, just cut that shit out. Like, because he literally, that character, you could cut all that shit out and then just end the film with Michael Myers in a fucking jail cell or whatever the fuck it is, and just leave like that. And then the next film, you're like, well, he broke out again. But then in this film, you just have this random character that's just floating about and then doesn't do anything until literally the last like 4 minutes of the film.
Who?
The guy in the black.
Oh, Man in Black, yeah.
Because he doesn't do anything, and then all of a sudden he just breaks Michael Myers. He like massacres a police station and just like gets Michael Myers out, and Jamie's just walking around in this hellhole of a fucking
Yeah, that's the worst part, because
like, makes no sense.
Like, he's part of the plot. But
But
it's never explained who he is or
he's
why
like, he's part of the
doing
plot, and he's just a massive plot hole. He's a plot hole because it's just never fucking explained.
Yeah, he's a walking plot hole.
Yeah.
He's just like the blackness of his character is just like the literal hole in the film, walking around
toward, and
he's a personification of the trauma of the director. He couldn't finish his film.
He's a walking black hole that's going straight to the end of the movie. Like, that's where he's walking to. Yeah. And even like the barn scene with the fucking characters that we have, like,
that goes on for ages.
Fucking ages. And like, that fucking dumbass
Spitz.
No, not even Spitz. The guy that dresses up as Michael Myers, and for some fucking reason,
Is that not Spitz? No.
I thought Spitz was the leather jacket wearing boyfriend.
No, the Spitz is the guy, the blonde guy.
Oh right, I would
Spitz
say
is the guy who's getting randy in the barn.
Randy. I'm pretty sure this is the first. Oh, no, we've seen. Have we seen Sex? I know
Sex in the Barn.
No, it's just Sex in the Halloween franchise. Besides the third film, we're gonna ignore that for a second.
I don't think we have. Yeah, I remember the third film.
I'm sure that's not. That's not. You don't see sex in the first film.
No.
You see the aftermath of sex.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but in this one it's so gratuitous. It's like
it goes on for
it's like
ages as well.
yeah, like they have a build up like it's a romance film. It's like they're like nibbling, they're like oh, like giggling and all.
Yeah.
It's like what's this? It's a Halloween film. It's a
Yeah.
horror film. Like we don't need the build up here.
And you got fucking the babysitter's mate just third wheeling to the max with them as well.
Yeah, like she kind of takes over the role of like the lead girl in this.
Yeah, 'cause she's
like, out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. And like what's even more confusing that like, she's like super like she's very what's the word I'm looking for?
Outgoing.
Like she's very like caring or like careful of Jamie. But it's the same character that thinks that it would be fucking hilarious if her best mate's boyfriend dresses up as Michael Myers and pretends to stab her in front of the police. I was like, I don't think that someone whose best mate was hunted down by Michael Myers and who's a caring figure for a child that was also hunted down by Michael Myers.
He was the nephew, or he was the niece of Michael Myers.
We'll be like, here, man, do you know be fucking gas? If you dress up as Michael Myers and you come out and you try to stab him from the police.
Yeah, some of the decisions in this film,
like why
they're so insensitive.
Like,
but maybe that's part of their trauma.
Like maybe I don't think so. These are poorly written film. Like not only has Michael Myers like committed a mass murder like 11 years ago, he did one the year before.
Yeah. It's like, bro, this only happened last year.
Like, where did you get that costume from? Who the fuck is selling Michael Myers masks?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that actually. Yeah, like it's not like the first, because I kind of got them mixed up because I watched them back to back.
I'm getting kind of confused between the two of them.
Yeah,
as well.
It's not like in the first one. Like it has been 10 years. Like maybe it's the trauma or whatever. Like they're just and it's at the end of the day, it is just a William Shatner mask.
Mm.
And it's just a mask they find at the back of this Halloween shop, which is it's a party shop. It has loads of different costumes. But then in this one, after Michael Myers has actually come back and killed multiple people again, there's people dressing up specifically as Michael Myers and reenacting killings. Like what?
Although
that's so insensitive, you know.
Man, in the fourth film, I don't even remember this now. In the fourth film, remember that bit where Jamie's running? This is the point where Jamie's like separated from Katie, I think her name is, like the babysitter.
Mm.
She's separated, and then Loomis finds the mom, and then multiple people come out dressed as Michael Myers. To like for a prank. Like Loomis is about to fucking blow one of their fucking heads off.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Why are these teenagers such fucking dumbasses? Like
yeah, they're so mean. Like.
I like the way they only ever do that around people with guns.
Yeah. It's like the people you'd least want to, piss off. Yeah, it actually does. I hadn't thought about that. The fact that Spitz is dressed up as Michael Myers.
Yeah, a year after he's massicered people.
Yeah, I suppose
like people that he knows as well. Like it's a small town.
People he knows.
Like
his mates are dead or killed by this man. And he's dressing up as him.
The police force was massacred the year before.
Yeah. His the sheriff's daughter. Was murdered in cold blood, and they're all in the same year. They're all in the same class. They're in the same year in school, and he's dressing up as the killer. Imagine that, like.
Yeah,
imagine that.
You're a fucking arsehole. Oh, I don't know.
Oh my god!
But they all get massacred.
Well, yeah, he gets his just desserts in the barn. He gets a fucking not trident. He gets a fork thing,
pitchfork,
a pitchfork through the chest.
Cool effects.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
That was the best kill.
Yeah.
Because I literally can't remember any of the other ones.
Yeah, I can't remember. Well, he has the scythe. We don't really see that.
Yeah, and he strangles the police officer in his own house.
That's
like he like beats the shit out of him, wraps him, chucks him out the window.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, in his own house. Yeah.
What did you think about that scene where like he's like, "Come on, Michael, we're gonna go back to your house and resolve your trauma from where it ever started."
Like thematically, like it's cool, but like what? Like, but Loomis is such a stupid character. It's just hard to take.
He's literally
hard
just screaming at Jamie so much.
Yeah, like it's the whole idea is, well, basically, yeah, Michael Myers is back. Loomis is still running around doing his thing that he does every year.
He's just doing the same thing again. Literally the same thing again.
He just does the
this
same
is the fourth
thing.
time he's done it.
This is the fifth. Oh no, yeah, this is the fourth time he's done it. Yeah, but like. He's running around. He's all flustered.
Imagine in the third film if there's a cameo of Loomis just running around like he's
back. He should have been, yeah. But like, so Michael's back. Loomis is running around, and he's after Jamie, and Loomis knows he's after Jamie. So his first thought is, let's use this little girl as bait for this serial killer who's killed dozens of people at this stage.
literally unstoppable.
Yeah, who he knows is unkillable.
Like, that is blatantly
he says
killed
that in the film.
blatantly obvious by the end of the fourth film that this
Yeah.
dude is unkillable.
Yeah. He's like, little girl, you're gonna be bait basically, and they're gonna go back to Michael Myers' old like childhood home.
Where it all began.
Where it all began. We're back where it all began, Michael. You always the first one was Michael. I found it really annoying as well. It's so weird. It's like too informal.
Yeah.
You're not mates, you know.
Mr. Myers.
Yeah, Mr. Myers. I've been expecting you. But like she's waiting. She's waiting in the position where Michael's sister was when he first killed her when he was a kid.
Oh, I didn't cop that.
At the mirror.
Yeah, I didn't cop that.
So he's literally replaying. He's trying to reproduce this traumatic scene in Michael Myers' childhood memory.
I genuinely think he's just like, here, if we sacrifice this little girl, Michael Myers will be alright. So we just let him live out his fantasy.
Probably, yeah. Sacrifice it to this demon. So yeah, that's his idea. And there's apparently the cops go along with it.
The cops like, yeah, this is a great idea.
Yeah, like that in that scene. Before the cop is killed, is strangled by Michael Myers at the window. That same cop is standing, like hiding, like just outside the room while the little girl is waiting as bait for Michael Myers. He's like, "Oh, Jamie, you're so brave. You're such a brave little girl. What are you doing? What are you doing?"
And like he has a shotgun or whatever. I'm like, man, 20 fucking shotgun blasts. Like,
yeah, man,
20 shotgun blasts, like shooting at Michael Myers at the same time, repeatedly didn't do a fucking thing to him. What are you gonna do with this thing? Like,
yeah, remember the fourth one? They had like artillery guns.
Yeah,
they had like a tank. They had like the
nuked them.
The
like.
entire police force and the mob was out like blowing this guy up, and he fell in the mine. And then he came back. It's like, it's just absolutely insane. And but basically, the obviously Myers shows up and he strangles the cop, and things don't go right. And they're on the run again.
And then Jamie gives him some fucking fight.
Yeah. She's a serious customer.
Yeah.
But Loomis pops in again, and as he's wont to do, and he's trying to offer up as bait again. He's like, "She's right here." He gets her. He gets this little girl in a headlock and like holds her down. Holds her down. And he's like, "Michael, she's right here," and it's all to like lure him in or whatever. But like it's just insane.
And then he drops a chain on him, and then he just starts like whipping him with it. He just he
just gets like a plank of wood.
Beating on Michael Myers, which actually works.
Yeah,
like, he's like, "Oh fuck this! I can't handle this now."
Yeah, a plank of wood, like literally like 50 caliber bullets don't hurt this guy, you know, and being set on fire. But like a chain, or like a net. It's just a net.
A big chain net.
A chain net and a plank of wood just takes him down. And then Loomis has a stroke in the middle of it and just collapses on top of him. It's so bizarre.
Oh god, what a fucking bad movie.
Yeah, what a fucking disaster of a movie.
The fourth film is grand as well. Like,
yeah.
Like,
it goes off the rails.
Yeah, as soon as the fifth film started, I was like, this is what I thought every one of these films. The fourth film was a nice surprise, but I think we're in the shit for now.
Yeah, it's just like, all over the shop.
There's no fucking way that the one about the cult is going to be good. There's no fucking way it's going to be good.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
No, isn't like the next one.
No, yeah. But like the idea for this.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you know,
if we're gonna do, you have to do something.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a fifth one, you know, mix it up. I like the fact they tried to mix it up, but they completely failed. They didn't even come close.
Oh, like they pure belly flopped onto the idea.
Yeah, they made half an attempt. They're like, "Fuck this isn't working." But they left the parts that didn't work in the film, which doesn't make any sense.
I can't. Man, I love this series so much.
Yeah. I'm glad I watched that though. You know, man, I wasn't expecting that.
Like, I like the okay. Before we even finish up the Halloween, the original Halloween series, we'll have watched more Halloween films than the Texas Chainsaw series. There's 9. I'm pretty sure there's 9 in the original series.
9. So there's 6, 7.
There's 6. Sorry, there's 6, and then like 10 years later or 5 years later, they just rebooted the franchise, and Jamie Lee Curtis comes back.
Oh yeah.
And then they've 2 or 3 films there.
Yeah, fuck that. Well, we'll see them all. We do.
Can't wait.
Are we doing all of them next week?
I don't know, because I'm pretty sure then Halloween Kills is out by the time this podcast comes out.
Yeah, we'll go see that.
Yeah.
And have a verdict for Halloween.
We could do maybe what we could do is we could do Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, whatever the fuck this. What was this one called? What's this? What's the next one called? Halloween, the Curse.
Isn't it?
Or was that the fifth one?
The fifth is The Revenge.
Oh, so the next one's The Curse.
There's such small differences.
The Return of Michael Myers, The Revenge of Michael Myers, The Curse of Michael Myers.
And then
Maybe we can do The Curse and then Halloween Kills for next week.
yeah, definitely.
Might be a bit tonally shifting with jumping back and forth between two films that don't.
Don't make sense together.
But to be fair, even if we were to do the film that came out after The Curse of Michael Myers, it would be a reboot. So we're gonna come into that anyway.
Oh, so the Curse is the last
of the last of like the original series.
Yeah, Loomis is dead. Is his last film
Yeah,
because he died.
yeah.
So
And Paul Rudd's in this one
yeah,
as the kid that Jamie Lee Curtis was minding in the first film. That's who he's playing.
is it
Yes.
Billy?
Yeah, he's playing Billy.
What? Is that not the kid in this one? No, in Halloween 5.
No, I think it's the original kid.
It's the original kid.
I think it's the original kid.
Billy. Yeah, well, it's gonna be a roller coaster anyway.
Oh God, I can't wait.
You know, Loomis. He's back.
He's back.
He's back again. again.
How do you think they kill Michael Myers in the next one? Because surely they killed him, and then they're like, okay, we need to remake this franchise.
Yeah. Wait, how does he die? He doesn't even die at the end of this one, does he?
No, he escapes in the end of this one.
Yeah.
He died at the last one because he got shotgun blasted multiple times. He's been set on fire at this stage and shotgun blasted multiple times. He survived both things.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Man,
what else could they do?
One thing I was always thinking, right, was would you not just try and decapitate him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
they're useless without their heads.
Yeah,
like Scary Movie 3.
Like in any of these films, like when you like whatever about Freddy, but like, you know, Leatherface. Well, Leatherface most of the time people don't have weapons, but like in Haddonfield, like you're at home, like there's a couple of you.
Get the sight.
Get the sight. Like your
Get
one
the
had a good
sight.
idea when she picked up the pitchfork.
She had the pitchfork, yeah.
She had a good idea of actually taking on Michael Myers, but he made short work of her.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, you should just shoot him in the head. Game over.
I forgot to say this in the second film. Michael Myers gets blinded.
Does he?
Yeah, he gets shot in the eye by Jamie, and he can't see.
Doesn't happen in the new one as well.
Maybe
something happens. Oh no, he loses his hand, doesn't he?
I have no idea.
In the reboot.
I think he got stabbed in the hand. I don't think that matters though to him. I think he's still got two working hands. Man,
really
even
matter.
if he lost the fucking hand, I don't think that matter. He still have two hands.
Yeah.
Phantom hand.
He's growing back. Yeah. The hand is his trauma from losing his hand.
Yeah, he's got a the
He's
phantom
got, yeah, he's
limb.
got, yeah. The tragedy of the serial killer doesn't. He believes he has a hand,
Yeah,
but he doesn't.
he's like, oh, I'm not
He keeps trying to
stabbing.
pick up his dagger, but there's nothing there.
He doesn't really use a knife that much in this, like except for the first film. But like,
He only uses it for the same kill he does in every
Yeah.
movie, and then he just drops it. It's like that's one off the list, you know.
well, I'm pretty sure most of the time he just beats people.
Yeah, he's just savage,
Yeah,
which is what the reboot was very good at.
yeah,
Like-
man. Remember that bit where in the reboot when he's like, when he walks into the stall that the woman is in, and he just drops the teeth down at her.
Yeah, it's so like I don't know if it was the cinema, but like I don't know because I watched on Netflix and it was the same thing. It's like the violence is way more tactile in the new one. Like he's proper, you can feel it. But in this one, I forgot to say about the fourth one. Like you know the way there's like loads of shooting in the fourth one. There's loads of guns involved, and at the end, even like the final showdown. Like the sound effects for the guns, it sounds like fucking Looney Tunes. It's like they're like bouncing. Yes, this just sounds like Looney Tunes sound effects.
I feel like there could have been like bing bong bing dong,
Yeah.
and then it hits Michael Myers.
Yeah, and he's
like
like, whoa, you know. Oh, it was just stupid. Like,
Yeah.
there's no gravity to that kind of violence.
nah, not at all.
What's the point?
What is the point? What's the point?
It needs to be real and traumatic.
Yeah, give me trauma.
Yeah, I want to be traumatized.
I tell you. Will we go for a break or will we go into our news item?
We go for a break?
You go for a break.
Yeah.
This is big news. So
It's major.
major news,
This is
breaking
what- yeah,
news.
Tune in after the break.
And now on to the news section. Talking about slashes.
Slashes.
Talking about flashes, I almost said there.
Well, it is love exposure.
Yeah, love exposure.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah, a series that we haven't talked about, I don't think,
Yeah, except in like sort of passing dismissive remarks.
Because it's not a very good franchise.
Yeah, it's actually not worth watching. Yeah,
No, it's just not. The Friday the 13th has an ongoing lawsuit, which finalized recently, like the past 2 weeks. But it was we firstly did know about it the first week it happened, and then last week it's kind of too big of a story to, kind of not know that much about. So we did a bit more research on in.
Yeah, it's like underneath the skin. It's like one of those pimples that you can feel underneath.
Yeah,
but you don't know until it starts to crown
and starts to show its head.
Then it's huge and it's really sore and you can't lean on it.
And then you pop it and gushes out.
Gushes everywhere. Yeah, that's this kind of story.
And that is the Friday the 13th franchise. Do you want to take the headline?
The headline is how Friday the 13th lawsuit could change Hollywood. Yeah, the whole thing originates from a conflict between screenwriter Victor Miller against the director, I believe, Sean Cunningham.
And he's also the producer of a few of the sequels after the first film. But basically the whole thing is Victor Miller is like, here, I am a writer. I'm the writer of the first film, so I should own the copyright law or have copyright over the franchise. Meanwhile, Sean Cunningham's like, no, because you are part-time. You were contracted to do this, so therefore you shouldn't. Victor Miller actually won, and then Cunningham appealed it, and like it's been on. I think he won it in like 2017, 2018, and then he appealed it, and it was going on for a few years, and then the pandemic hit. But now it's after been settled again, where in favor of Miller. That Miller owns the copyright to the first film, but only the first film.
Because he didn't write the rest, did he?
He didn't write the rest, and he doesn't write. This is the weird thing about it, right? So the first Friday the 13th film doesn't have Jason Voorhees in it.
Yeah, it's just the weird kid.
Yeah,
and like he's not even the killer.
He's not even the killer. So, and the iconic mask and everything doesn't come into it until the third film. So he doesn't own the copyright to any of the sequels or to the ID or to adult. That's what it is. He doesn't own the copyright to adult Jason Voorhees.
Yeah,
he owns him as a kid, but not as an adult, and he doesn't own copyright to the mask or anything like that, or any of the iconography that everyone knows of Friday the 13th. And he also only owns it domestically. He doesn't own it internationally, foreign, like in foreign lands, whatever. He doesn't own the copyright to it.
Why?
No idea. I didn't read that much into it, but
how can an American court even rule on that? Really,
I have no idea.
You know, but like if they are going to rule on it, why did they make that distinction? You know, what's the point of that?
I don't know, because it's a multi-million-dollar franchise.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
He only owns the copyright to the first film, but
which is kind of the one you don't want.
Yeah, you want the rest of them. Like you don't even own Jason basically with this.
Yeah, you don't have the mask. The mask is the thing that everyone knows.
Yeah, the merch.
You know,
like who's buying merch for the first film?
Yeah. Like you have, like I see merch for like, like Funko Pops or like the kid or whatever.
Yeah, like
the original one. But the only thing, like the main talking point after everyone sees the first one is Jason wasn't even in it.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
That's the kind of twist.
Yeah.
Like in a modern sense to the film. So he has the rights to that. But that's just kind of like a bog standard slasher film.
Yeah.
It's not really, doesn't really have all the iconic properties of the franchise.
I wonder if did he own the
yeah, that would be key actually. Yeah, if he owns that, then he's in a pretty powerful position.
Yeah, because if he owns the copyright to the first one, I imagine, did he own the copyright to the music? Maybe, I don't know.
Well, he invented the character, but didn't invent the music? Did he?
No, maybe someone else. I imagine like whoever made the music owns the copyright to that.
Yeah, maybe.
But because I was reading into it, and there's like the Friday the 13th like video game. That game got fucking shafted because of this lawsuit, because they weren't allowed, because they released it and then this lawsuit came out and they weren't allowed to add in any additional content, which you kind of need for an online game that's going to be continuously going on.
What was that?
I think it's like 2018, 2019 that game came out.
There was a game.
There was a game,
yeah.
yeah.
Know that. Was it good?
I don't know. I think it's like one person is on the map as Jason and they have to hunt down everyone else that's trying to escape.
That's a
kind of like
cool idea.
That game Dead by Daylight, I think is the same. Or what's that game called? It's not Dead by Daylight. Oh yeah, it is Dead by Daylight. That's the same game.
That's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But it was cool because every time that you were, like, if you're, or maybe it's in Dead by Daylight. In one of them, I don't know which one it is. If you hid, you could hear the when Jason was close,
Yeah.
and that was your hint that he was like nearby because
Uh-huh.
you couldn't see him, which is a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
But the knock, because this is so basically what this says is that the writer owns the copyright of franchises or of, like, you know, original
IP.
IP, yeah, the original introduction of characters, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because reading up on it, it's the same copyright law used by Wes Craven and Clive Barker before. They have done this before. I think with Hellraiser with Clive Barker, and Wes Craven doesn't know one of the multiple fucking franchises that he's
Scream
created.
or something.
Scream.
Imagine he gets royalties off all them masks. He's probably a billionaire in heaven right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, Wes Craven also did Nightmare on Elm Street as well.
Oh, he did, yeah.
So he's got a few. And Wes Craven,
He did a lot.
he did a lot.
Yeah.
He did a lot, like, to horror.
Oh, he did Hills of Eyes as well.
Yeah, he did. I think there's only 2 of those films, like the original.
Yeah. Plus, you can't really own. I suppose you can. We can't own, like, the characters in that anyway.
Yeah, not really. They're not really marketable either.
Yeah.
Was it time you watched The Hills of Eyes?
No.
It's grand.
That's a good film, man.
Yes, it's grand. I thought, like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It was not what I was expecting.
It's not as gruesome,
No.
you know. It's scary, but, like, it's not it's scary in, like, a really subdued kind of, like, 70s way. It's like Jaws kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know.
He also did The Last House on the Left.
You ever seen that?
No, but that's one of the
That's
video
iconic.
nasties. Yeah.
Yeah, that's iconic.
So, like, one of the first, like, rape revenge movies.
I suppose you can't really market that either.
No, that's not a very marketable idea.
Yeah. But yeah, so they use that to their advantage as writers, as directors, as creators. So is this a good omen for the men, for the guys, for the ladies as well, for everyone in Hollywood, all the writers?
All the writers, I think, yeah, because you're, as we said before, you know, the baseline of a good film is a good script.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, you know,
And a good writer.
you've kind of, you know, you did a lot of the heavy lifting, like.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I mean, as we've seen with, like, Halloween 5, you know, if the original writing idea doesn't come to fruition, you're kind of fucked.
yeah. You can't just change it mid shoot, like. But I'd say, like, this is all like a legacy stuff. This is stuff from the 80s
Yeah.
and the 70s. Like, by now, Disney, Marvel, you know, Fox, those are all the same company. But, like, Warner.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Disney, Marvel, oh shit, that's all the same company.
Yeah. Warner, all that stuff. Like, they literally spent billions on lawyers.
Mhm.
Like, they have wrapped this up. They have, like, tied this up, or tried to anyway. Or, like, the new emerging kind of, like, studio system, like, has a way where they rent out these people very specifically in that kind of way. Because isn't it like the what you call it? Like, the technicality in this case was that Victor Miller was an independent contractor rather than an employee. So, like, his employers, or he didn't have an employer, he was contracted out to do the work rather than doing the work under someone else.
Yeah.
So, like, would that apply in modern Hollywood? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think that because, you know, the idea is that, like, the impact that this will have on the MCU is that it might be more difficult for Marvel to just pluck a fucking character from Marvel. In the Marvel canon. Like, they can't just, like, you know, grab someone. I don't know who they haven't used. Like, X-Men, maybe? I don't know. I don't have no idea. They can't just pluck that IP now because it's tied to the original writers of the idea.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting if, like, one of the X-Men writers spoke up. He's like, nah, I don't want him to be in the new film.
See, because that also fucks the whole multiverse thing that they're going for now. Because that's what they're trying to do. Because I'm pretty sure I saw something that James McAvoy was like, yeah, I mean, if Marvel if Marvel wanted me to be in, you know, a new X-Men film that was under, you know, the MCU, you know, if it was good, I'd be down for it. I feel like that's hinting at the idea that, like, they are thinking of that. Like, that could be a possibility.
That would be so shit, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want an MCU X-Men movie.
Yeah. Because they're all, I don't know. It just I don't know. I just don't want that. I don't want that to happen. Because it'll be all be the same, you know. It's just too samey.
It is.
You kind of want competing things. I don't know. It's just the vibe. I don't think the vibe would fit either, you know. very different. It's not really that different though, is it? The X-Men films and the Marvel films, but it is at the same time. X-Men seems very much more grounded. Like X-Men's serious. It's like a Holocaust analogy, you know.
Yeah.
And like it's an analogy for like gay people and stuff.
Yeah, it's in minorities and stuff like that.
Yeah, minorities.
Even more, especially in, I'm pretty sure in the first X-Men movie, or maybe it's the second one, where one of the characters, Legion, is that his name? The guy with the wings.
With the wings. Is that the third one? Last Stand.
Yeah, it is the last
Where
one.
he's
Yeah.
cutting off his own wings in the bathroom. Yeah.
But like, there's a scene where like they basically like talk to him as if he's like a gay teenager coming out.
Yeah.
Like they basically, his parents talk to him as if he is.
And the mutants have to hide their abilities and all this stuff. You couldn't do that in MCU.
No.
Like, you can't take that seriously.
No, the MCU wouldn't touch that.
You know? Like they even if they tried it, I don't think they could pull that off.
No.
Like within the context
Of everything else.
It'd have to be a multiverse where this kind of thing was taken seriously. You know? Like this is completely separate. This is a complete separate universe where you actually like.
Well, that's the idea.
Address these kind of things.
I was looking at things like fan theories and stuff like that. That's the idea, that it would just be an alternate universe where like Iron Man and stuff like that aren't there, but the X-Men do exist. And that's how, when the multiverse collapses, you can then yank them and pull them into this. Because there's a thing called Secret War in the comic books where it is just like multiverse. Like X-Men are part of their own, universe, and they're pulled in to, fight against or with, the Avengers and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's all Marvel. It's all just separate universes.
That's like the singularity of comic book cinema.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of hellish, but at the same time, you'd kind of love to see it.
I would like to see it.
You'd like to see it for the event. It's like the Avengers.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day when before the Avengers came out, I was like, this sounds amazing. It sounds like an amazing idea. It'd be so cool. And then it came out, people loved it. It was alright film. But they just keep going. It's now 10 years later and they're doing the same thing. And you give them an inch, they take a mile. How long will this multiverse go on? And
what do you do after that?
That's the thing. They could realistically just perpetuate that forever.
Yeah.
Or as long as they can milk that, I don't know, because how much would people take? People seem to be able to take a lot. So
people do take a lot, man. like people take a lot.
People pay a lot of money to see films that aren't very good because of the event. And when you own the event, the phenomenon. Yeah, when you own the things that people come to see, then it doesn't really matter what you're doing with the film.
As long as you show it.
People are going to go see it.
Yeah. And people be happy as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But this Friday the 13th thing, kind of maybe...
That would be very interesting if they stood up and they're like... Even if some spoiler was like the guy who made up Wolverine or something, he's like, I don't want Wolverine in this.
Yeah.
They'd find some fucking Badger hybrid as a replacement for Wolverine. But
I say Disney have enough money to toss around.
Yeah,
but the only question is, how much money do they have to toss around for something like this? Are they willing to dish out I don't know, fucking 500 million to fucking get?
Yeah, but the guys who invented these characters are already rich.
Yeah.
That's the only hope. If I was minted and I'm 75 years old and I'm ailing, I'm on my deathbed, and my family are all set up for life, and Disney come to me sign this paper, we'll give you another $10 million to put Wolverine in our new movie or whatever. Surely something deep down would be you just want to go, nah.
Yeah, it's
fuck that.
No, fuck you.
That's what you have to count on. But maybe they'll have something else. They have one of those fucking heart attack guns. So then they'll just die, and the sun will take care of it or something like that. You wouldn't put it past them.
You wouldn't put it past Disney.
But it's a good development. For the
writers.
For the writer,
Giving the writers more power.
Some control over the.
Because it is weird that they didn't beforehand. It is strange that I came up with this idea, and now I don't own the copyright because I'm not the producer or the director, even though I'm the guy that made it, basically.
Yeah, yeah. It's very strange the way that works. It's kind of it's like in work in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, not in real life, but standard work.
Yeah.
Your job or your employer owns your work.
Yeah, it's the same.
You can't take it home and sell it on.
Inventions, if you invented if the light bulb was invented now, it wouldn't be Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. It would be fucking Tesla invented the light bulb.
Yeah,
not the guy, the company.
The company, yeah, yeah. Even then, Tesla, loads of great innovations and stuff, but you only ever hear about Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Elon Musk doesn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
He's just the owner of the company.
He's not the inventor of any of that type of shit.
Yeah, he doesn't do any of that
He
stuff.
just pays other people to invent it.
Yeah, and then they go off on their lives. They get their salary, and like that's it. They've no
Mhm.
other association with that, with their invention or whatever thing they've innovated. Very cruel. Completely, unfair. But that's the way it is. That's just capitalism, bro.
Yeah, it is. Copyright's a lot of bullshit, isn't
God,
it?
copyright is the biggest scam in history, you know?
Yeah.
The biggest scam. It doesn't make any sense.
Like it's fucking bullshit.
You know? Like, if your ideas are good enough, that's like the whole idea, like the free market of ideas, like the best films rise to the top, the best products rise to the cream rises to the top at the end of the day. But, like, if that was true, then you wouldn't have to care about copyright. But these companies spend, like, trillions of dollars
to make sure that you
to make sure that copyright very much is a thing. Like Disney, like extending copyright, like was it
150 years after their author's death or something like that? Or
yeah. It's like 150 years ago. Fucking, we don't just recover from the famine. You know,
Yeah.
like that's like imagine back then.
Like
They didn't have a concept of that back then.
I don't even know if it's 150 years, but it's a lot. I think it's 100 years after.
It's at least up to the next century.
Yeah.
Like, or it's mid-century at least. It's gonna be extended like indefinitely anyway. But it's insane because it's not a thing that anyone had ever had a concept of until about 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But like we act as if this is perfectly just and normal that you can own an idea.
Man, Thomas Edison, I'm pretty sure, is the guy that did that. Isn't that something we learned about Thomas Edison? The guy
probably.
that brought
he's
in
mad
copyright.
immoral. Yeah.
He's a cunt, man. He ruined the fucking world in terms of like about copyright and stuff like that.
He ruined the world. Yeah, he was competing with Tesla, and he wanted Tesla had DC power and Edison had AC. Something like
I don't
that.
know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but like, yeah, I've heard that he's a bad dude.
But the whole cameras and stuff, like he owned the light bulbs that they used in cameras, so he owned the cameras as well, or something like that.
Yeah,
and that made it more difficult for people to make movies, which is what created the studio system in the first place.
Yeah. Like imagine if Leonardo da Vinci copyrighted the helicopter and the submarine.
Yeah,
you know. It's like, oh no, we have to pay all our royalties to these nuclear submarines back to some random fucking peasant living in a hill in Italy or whatever, you know, because his great granddad wrote a sketch, like roughly outlining the details of a helicopter back in 1589 or whatever.
Basically got the right idea, but like fuck's sake,
yeah, but that's the thing. Like none of these ideas are gonna last like in their current form for next like beyond like next 10 years.
No.
Like, they're always developing. That's the whole point. That's the whole process. But we act as if, you know, the originator should be like, you know, infinitely responsible
and infinitely like paid for and stuff like that.
Yeah. Scumbags.
Even the most blatant example of why copyright is bullshit is the whole Sherlock Holmes.
What's that?
Do you know the story of Sherlock Holmes? So with Sherlock Holmes is in the public domain. The original version is how Sherlock Holmes is depicted in the original books is copyright free. If you make Sherlock Holmes friendly, that is not in the public domain.
Friendly.
And that is you have to stick to how he is in the original version. So if he's friendly, he's copyrighted because that's copyrighted by a company that made him a version of Sherlock Holmes where he's friendly. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
That whole thing with that Enola Holmes, that thing.
Oh yeah.
That got into problems about it because Enola Holmes is copyright, like she's based on, you know, Sherlock Holmes, but because she's friendly or whatever the fuck it is, she's not actually based on the original versions of Sherlock Holmes. She's based on some other version of Sherlock Holmes which is copyrighted or something like that.
Yeah.
That is just such fucking bullshit. Like,
it doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, you just hear about like companies like that trying to like trademark like common sayings and stuff.
Yeah,
you know, even would you remember like it was like 10 years? You know, Gareth Bale, the footballer.
Yeah.
He was. I remember he had like when he first like fucking blew up. He had this season where he was scoring loads of goals. He was killing it, and like he was because before that he was a bit of like a dud. He was a shit player, and then all of a sudden he just started fucking banging them in. And he was huge, like he's the sensation of Europe. And he had this one celebration where he did like the heart shape, like that. And his management company or whatever, like put in patent or trademark papers to trademark the love heart, like just like
Oh
like
my
that.
fucking
Well, that's like
God,
that's
yeah.
like an immortal symbol, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's just an example that came to my head. But like you have stuff like, you know, like just do it. Like that's trademarked by Nike or whatever.
You know
all those things.
You know the Fine Bros on YouTube?
Yeah.
They tried to trademark the term react.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Don't think that's gonna work, bro.
Yeah, react, and it's just stuff like that. But it, like the courts accept that.
Yeah, a lot of the time they do.
They're like, oh, if you're specific about it, grand. But then
If it's used in this very specific way, which
Mm.
if it's used in this very specific way,
which
then
can
okay.
be interpreted anyway.
Yeah,
really, yeah.
which can be interpreted anyway.
Yeah.
If you argue it in a certain way,
Yeah.
yeah, copyright is the fucking bane of existence.
Copyright law. Imagine being a copyright lawyer.
I'd rather be dead.
End yourself. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like
You are literally
yeah,
destroying creativity.
you're a parasite. That's parasite, like parasite stuff. Big money though. Big money.
Big money. Maybe I'll get into it someday.
Who knows?
We
Yeah.
should trademark the term paro.
Yeah. Yeah, and the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one can say pod anymore.
No
Yeah,
one
just
can-
trademark Paro. Oh my god. Yeah, just take out like a suit against Keen Duff. We're seizing your t-shirts.
Thank you very much. Anytime someone goes like, that's paro, I'm like, 5 cents, please.
Yeah. You owe me a fine.
Oh, God. We go into listener questions.
We'll head on to our listener questions. If you want to ask us a question, you can get to us at Paro_pod on the Insta or on Twitter, or you can get to us via email at theparopod@gmail.com. And our first question is coming in from Neil. Neil's asking, what's the weirdest film you've ever seen?
Texas Chainsaw The Next Generation is up there.
Way up there. That's just like balls to the wall madness.
Holy Mountain, which Neil has also seen part of. That was...
Holy Mountain has to be the answer, doesn't it?
I think that is the ultimate answer.
Yeah. No one, like, that's unwatchable. Like, really. Unless you're, like, really watching it.
Yeah, really watching
But even then, it's, like, kind of painful.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really understand.
It's just out there.
Yeah. What about The Room or something like that?
The Room, I don't know, I don't know. Is that weird? It's just kind of bad.
In a different way.
Mm.
Like what type of weird are we talking about here? Like Love Exposure with all that fucking underskirt shots was
That's
fucking
pretty
weird.
Yeah.
The Baby was also extremely fucking weird. God.
Yeah, you've seen a lot more weird films.
Fucking hell, The Baby. Jesus Christ.
That, from what I heard, that would be up there.
Oh,
You know,
God.
from what I've seen.
Sometimes I just go to bed and just hear the fucking baby crying. I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. We've seen a lot of weird movies.
that's true. I can't think of any of them.
I mean, some fucking normies would probably be like, oh, David Lynch is the weirdest shit I've seen. It's like, fuck you.
Fuck off. Come on. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, John Waters films. What was that called? Desperate
Living.
Living. That was very strange.
Mhm.
Very strange film.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, John Waters would certainly be up there.
Yeah.
God, yeah. Fucking, I forget about John Waters sometimes. Yeah, but because some of it, I wouldn't even. Pink Flamingos wasn't even that weird.
No?
No, it was just graphic. Like, I don't know. What would you like when you watch something? What are you looking for to be like? That's fucking weird. Like, are you looking for nonsense or are you looking for?
Well, yeah, stuff like John Waters, like, you know, and Holy Mountain. Well, I suppose that's just kind of shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know,
Like, does there have to be a shock value to something being weird?
I don't know. Does it?
I don't know. There has to be something. Like, if something weird means like something out of the ordinary. So sometimes that can be shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anyone.
I'm pretty sure House, you know that film?
House. Yeah,
I
yeah.
have never seen that, but I imagine if I did sit through that, that would be my answer.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, maybe we watched like the first 10 minutes of that.
I was like, I just can't watch this.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a film that's too weird. I don't think I could ever watch that.
No? I will watch that.
Unless I
eventually.
smoked the fucking fat joint beforehand.
To be fair, yeah, the weirdest film, Texas Chainsaw 4. There's no shock value to that, really.
No, it's
That's,
just like
it's just like, what?
Yeah, it's just like
It-
what is
it makes
going
you,
on?
it makes you go, what?
Yeah,
Why?
especially if you've gone through the franchise.
Yeah. If you're just coming into that fresh onto the scene, you're probably like, this is just a bad film. But like, there's so much context behind it, and the guy who made the original was directly involved in. He direct it or something. He
wrote the original film.
Yeah, and he was involved in that, and it's just like, it just makes you question everything. You know, it makes you rethink things.
I think
You know?
if I didn't know the context of Halloween 3, that would probably be one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen.
It is pretty weird, yeah, I suppose.
Just in the context of the Halloween franchise. If
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah.
know, if you didn't know the context to why that film is the way that it is,
yeah.
and you just watch, if you're just some dude that's just like you
you're
decided
just binging the Halloween series
on Netflix, you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. It's about leprechauns and melting heads and stuff. It's like nothing to do with Michael Myers, but that's what you want at the end of the day.
That is what you want. I want melting heads.
Yeah, a bit of pumpkins, a bit of seasonal vibes.
Good vibes. Good seasonal vibes.
Absolutely.
We leave it at that. So,
We'll leave it there.
recommended film is
Scream.
Scream. Yes. Completely forgot what it was. Scream. Grand.
Scream. 1992.
94?
94.
94,
Or
95?
96.
No, 96 was Scream 2. I actually looked that up because I was
remember,
checking.
last week.
I was checking that. Yeah, it's 95, I think.
95.
95 or 94.
Scream 1. It's on Netflix.
Is that on Netflix?
It's on Netflix now.
Handy.
It was on there today. I was like, you know, because it was playing the trailer while I was looking through things.
Meant to be.
So yeah, it's literally meant to
Meant to
be.
be.
So look at it. Also, go see Halloween Kills,
Yes.
and then we can all talk about it together.
We'll all talk about it. All three of us.
Yeah.
You, the listener. Unless
we
you're.
only have one listener left. Wherever you are.
Whoever you are.
Well, we still have our Aragon boys. They're still here.
Yeah, of course. All those
the Americans.
Argonians.
The Oregonians. They've probably seen this film months ago.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah, have a look at that, and then you can follow along. It'll be class.
Good time.
And good seasonal vibes, spooky vibes, and it'll be great.
Is next week our Halloween? No, the week after that's our Halloween special, isn't it?
I think Halloween is like,
I think it's the week after.
is it?
Wait, hon, next week.
Next week is the 19th. No, yeah, because the next release is
The 18th, and then we've another one.
18th, and then we record on the 19th, and then we release that on 25th, and then we record on the 26th, and then the next one is now till November 1st.
Well, sorry about you, but you're going to be having a Halloween special on the
In
1st November.
All Hallows Day.
Yeah, All Hallows Day. Season of transition again.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Right. God bless. Good night.
God
or
bless.
good morning.
See ya.